Welcome to the quarterfinals of the Yosemite Division football playoffs tonight. The Centennial Golden Hawks, who are 10-1 this year, take on the Sanger Apaches, who are 8-3. Sanger has lost to Buchanan, Clovis, and Clovis West. They beat Hoover, though, who's playing BHS tonight.
Well, Mark, I think this is a good test for Centennial here in the quarterfinals. It'll really tell them where they are, because this team has played some of the top teams in the Valley. So I think tonight will give Centennial a test as to where they're going to be as they go into possibly the next round. And I think tonight the key for Centennial is to run the football with Stubbe, and they want to have a little bit of balance with throwing the ball with Velos. They've been very successful recently in really becoming more of a balanced football team.
Yeah, Jared Bratcher averages about 25, 26 yards a catch. Jamie Smith, a key tight end for Centennial, a great middle receiver. And as you said, Stubbe has gained about 1,200 yards this year. Sanger competes in a Tri-River Valley Conference, and Centennial won the Southwest Yosemite League.
Well, Mark, I think what they have to do tonight, Sangers, they've got to run the football. They've got to keep the ball away from Centennial and control time of possession, because Centennial has really improved their offense here, especially late in the season. And I think the key for Sanger is to run the football, keep the ball away from that Centennial offense.
Sanger averages 378 yards per offense, but they haven't faced the Centennial defense yet. Tonight, it's Centennial and Sanger in the quarterfinals of the Yosemite Division football playoffs, with Mark and Dennis Heffernan on Time Warner Cable, Channel 52.
Excuse me, is that tuxedo from AJ's?
Let AJ's get you noticed. A Bakersfield tradition for over 25 years, specializing in Pierre Cardin, Christian Dior, Oscar de la Renta, and Calvin Klein. AJ's Tuxedo Junction, with 3 great locations to serve you.
Gutshot is the place to go to dress up your home. It's the place to go. Gotshot, we're your store.
Get in on all the football action with refreshing Coca-Cola Classic. This game is brought to you by your Coca-Cola bottler in Bakersfield. Always for the fans. Always Coca-Cola.
And good evening, and welcome to the Yosemite Division quarterfinal matchup from Centennial High School tonight, as Golden Hawks take on Sanger. The Sanger Apaches 8-3, Centennial 10-1.
Well, Mark, I get real excited when we get to these playoff games. Now we're into the quarterfinals, and after tonight, if Centennial is successful, next week there's only 4 teams left, and they'll be in the semis like they were last year. So Centennial has to come out, Mark, and I think last week they came out a little bit sluggish, but they're playing a better team tonight than they did last week, so they need to come out strong early in the game, set the tone, get physical with Sanger, and I think they can be successful.
Sanger does an onside kick to start the game. Recovered by Centennial to their own 47-yard line. A flag is down. One official is rather tall, and the other is about medium height. Centennial, the Southwest Yosemite League champion, and Sanger competes in the very South
for Sanger.
Tri-River Athletic Conference with Buchanan, Clovis, and Clovis West.
Well, Mark, that's a real strong conference, that Tri-River. It was developed not too long ago, and it really puts a lot of solid football teams. And the Sangers played a really strong competition. And
there's an
I'll tell you
illegal
one thing,
procedure penalty against
in Sanger's situation here, trying an onside kick, or maybe the kickoff man missed the punt a little bit, but you don't really want to be doing an onside kick to start the game, so I'm assuming you just mishit it here.
And you don't necessarily want Centennial to start a drive at their own 40 or 45-yard line.
I wouldn't think so.
The Golden Hawks, with a big offensive line and superior defensive line, like to run the football, and that sets up their passing game, which has been very effective the second part of the season, with George Vallows throwing to Jared Bratcher and Jamie Smith primarily.
Mark, they put it together this year. I really like the team speed of Centennial, which has improved over last year. And I think their offense is much more balanced.
Tomas Lopez with a kick for Sanger. Tried the second time, comes Centennial.
Morales, the ball carrier for
Morales,
Centennial.
25. Stays on his feet, goes down to 29. Jesse Morales, number 42. The backs of Andrew Steuben is a very good running back for the Golden Hawks, a junior. He should be the main man next year.
Well, Mark, in that situation, he ran into his own man and kind of slowed his progress there. And that's one thing you do on a kickoff team is that you want to make sure that when you run the football, you don't run into your own man if you can help it. So a little lack of experience there. I think he's fairly new at running back kickoffs, but you know, he gets in the game. He's a fine runner, a good backup for Stubbe. So we'll see a lot of him tonight.
And we got Roberts and Brancher wide to the left for Centennial. Andrew Stubbe back there behind George Vallis. Smith in motion. Pitch back, Andrew Stubbe. The 30-yard line, cut back, 35. Close to a first down, gain of about 8 yards for number 43. As he showed as usual his great explosiveness.
Stubbe is tripped
blocking
up
out
by
in front of him
Jeremy
to the left
Vasquez.
side. Vasquez making the tackle for the Sanger Apaches.
Well, Mark, on that play there, a sweep to the left side of the field. Great block by Brian Kitchen, left tackle, 6'5", 270.
Gain of
We're
8
going to
yards
talk a lot about him tonight.
2.
He threw a great block and really sprung Stubbe. And of course, Stubbe with the great balance picks up about 9 yards.
Second and a long one for Centennial at their own 38-yard line. About a 5-man front for Sanger. Play action, Ballas to throw. Fires it out deep to Bratcher, comes back for it. Incomplete. Number 20 guarded by number 1, Caleb Bravo
for Bratcher,
of Sanger.
falls incomplete.
He came back for the ball and almost had a chance at it, but it fell incomplete. Right through his hands.
Incomplete pass
Mark,
brings
that
up
was
third down.
I think a nice call by Centennial. They had second and short, so they decided to go for the bomb. And I think number 1, Caleb Brown, the left corner, played the man, not the ball, and almost got caught there and overran the play and didn't make the play. You've really got to keep an eye on these Centennial receivers with all their great speed.
But Caleb Brown, for number 1, is a sophomore trying to guard Bratcher. That should be an interesting matchup for him. Very tough one. Third and short for the Golden Hawks. Bad handoff, a fumble. And who has it?
Fumble on the play is recovered by B.J. Tittlemeyer.
Centennial picks it up, and it'll be fourth down.
Good for Centennial, first down.
Apparently fumbled it forward, so a great break for Centennial on the play.
You're right about that, Mark. One thing that, if you notice, that Sanger's doing tonight, Mark, is right before Centennial snaps the ball, Centennial's shifting their defensive line, and that's causing a few problems. And I think that was one of the reasons why on that last play there, Centennial got a little confused. One of the players snapped the ball a little bit early. I think there's a little bit of an adjustment that they're going to have to make maybe as the game goes on, because some teams will do that. They'll shift at the last minute, and it really throws off that offensive blocking scheme.
Well, they gained a yard and a half on that fumble for the first down. Nice home field advantage. Centennial first and 10 at their own 40-yard line. 10-5-3 to play in the first quarter. It is the quarterfinals of the Yosemite Division. The Golden Hawks made it to the semis last year and lost to Redwood, and they could meet them again this year, but not here. First and 10 for Vallis and company. On the left hash mark, Andrew Stubbe right side, knocked down.
Stubbe the ball carrier.
After a gain of 1 yard. Number 78 and 58 for Sanger.
Mark, one player on that play that was very effective, he kind of blitzed from his secondary position. Number 34, Herman Cooks, a junior, 5'11", 180, played linebacker, and he kind of came in on a stunt that time and did trip up
Gain
some
of
of the
1 on the
blocking.
play, second and 9.
Stubbe got kind of tripped
Ball
up
was on the
there and
Centennial
picked up a
41-yard
short
line.
yard.
Peter Ressler and Saldana making the tackle for Sanger. Second and 9 for the Golden Hawks. Short drop, pass complete to Roberts, knocked out of bounds across midfield to about the 49-yard line.
Pass complete to Justin Roberts.
I think I saw a flag down just in front of the
Jeremy
Centennial
Vasquez
bench.
in on the stop for Sanger.
Vasquez and on the stop for Sanger. So a flag down in front of the Centennial bench, and it looks like it's against the Golden Hawks.
Offensive pass interference.
Well, Mark, it didn't look like the intended receiver there had anything to do with the defensive back. It must have been one of the other receivers for Centennial. Looked like he kind of maybe made a pick on the defensive secondary man, and that allowed the Centennial receiver to get open, you know, on that situation. So it looked more like it was a pick by the offensive receiver by Smith, the tight end.
That's a tough call. Third and 24. Loss of down. Draw play to Stubbe. 30-yard line, breaks the tackle, stays on his feet. He has the first down and goal. Midfield 45, 40, 30, raced down the sidelines, 20, and throws down a bound to the 10-yard line.
Stubbe pushed out of bounds by
What a
Jeremy
run by Andrew
Vasquez.
Stubbe.
Mark, that was about a 49-yard run by Adam Stubbe. We talked about him and his great cutback ability that time. Got a good block by Brian Kitching. Cut back over, went to his left, cut back over in the center of the field, then went down the right sideline and went 49 yards and was tackled at the basically the 11-yard line. A great run by Stubbe. He's done it before.
You know, they usually do that when they're third and long. They run a draw play and a guy runs for 49 yards, making a big play on 3rd and 24. So 1st and 10 for Centennial here in the first quarter. Sanger shifting on defense. Morales hit the back, maybe gains about a half yard. Nice tackle by number 8 for Sanger. Ronnie Martinez. Good one-on-one play.
Jesse Morales, the ball carrier.
Again, Mark, if you notice the
Martinez.
Sanger defense shifting again right before the snap of the ball, and it's really throwing off the blocking techniques of Centennial so far. So they're going to have to make an adjustment. Maybe after this series, they're going to have to sit and talk about
Morales
it on the sidelines.
3 yards on the
that really
play.
does confuse
Second and
an
7.
offense when you shift as a defensive team right before the snap.
Call it 2nd and 8 for Centennial. Full house backfield. Pitch back. Jesse Morales cuts back, stays on his feet, now goes down. Great pursuit by Sanger. 3 players making a tackle, among them number 5. That would be Jeremy Vasquez. We've heard his name a few times tonight. Kyle Stuck, number 23.
Jesse Morales stopped by Jeremy Vasquez.
Here are the guys able to
No gain
converge
on
on
the play.
him, so they gave
Means
Stubbe a
it's 3rd
rest.
and 7.
Morales runs it twice. Now you have Morales and Stubbe in the backfield at the same time.
Well, Mark, good defense by Sanger that time, really stringing the plays out and coming up and making some nice tackles. And they're getting a lot of defensive support from the secondaries, coming up and really helping to support the run.
Roberts wide to the left. Full house backfield for Centennial. In motion, Jesse Morales. Long count. Play action. Dallas rolling to his right, looking for the end zone. Fires it out of the end zone, incomplete. Great coverage by Sanger. Nobody was open.
Intended for Morales is incomplete.
Either Morales, Roberts, or on the far side, Echeverry.
Well, Mark,
Incomplete
Vallis
pass will
had
bring
good
up
blocking
4th
on the
down.
sprint out to his right, but like you say, everybody was covered, and he just threw that ball away. You know, you want to get in a situation here where 3rd and 7, you don't want to have a turnover. At least give yourself an opportunity to put 3 on the board. So now they have an attempt for a field goal here.
Doing the honors, Jonah Long from the 17-yard line, a 27-yarder. Snap is down, a kick, boots it, up and good.
26-yard field goal by Jonah Long is good.
They will call it a 26-yarder. 7:55 to play in the first quarter. Centennial 3 and Sanger nothing. But a great job by the Sanger defense after Adam Stubbe. Andrew Stubbe made that 49-yard run on 3rd and 24 on the draw.
Yeah, you know, it was a good play by the Sanger defense. I thought they really came up, the secondary, and really helped on these pitches, either the pitch right or pitch left. You know, the corners and Mark and rover backs and safeties were coming up and really helping to hold Centennial on those couple of sprint outs and also on the pitch out plays. So they were very successful, and they really did stop Centennial inside the red zone. But on the other hand, you got to give Centennial credit. They had 3rd long, and Stubbe did make a 49-yard run and put him in field goal position. So I think both teams were successful on that drive. Centennial for putting some points on the board, and Sanger for not giving up a touchdown. So we got 3-0 with 7:55 left here in the first quarter.
They've done it a few times this year on 3rd and long and given the ball to Andrew Stubbe. He's made big yards out of it, running that draw. He has such great cutback ability. He's able to get into the secondary. So Long will be kicking off from his own 40-yard line, 3-0 Centennial.
Set to kick off for Centennial, number 8, Jonah Long.
The Gold Hawks over the Apaches. The line drive punt. Caught at the 8-yard line. One of the few times he didn't kick it all the way and run back across the 25, but they're saying he stepped out of bounds at the 21-yard line.
Corey Williams, the ball carrier, steps out of bounds.
Corey Williams, number 9, 6 feet, 180-pound running back and defensive back. One of the top players on the Apache team this year.
Well, Mark, on that kickoff for Centennial, number 31, Ron
Williams
Shearer,
steps out of bounds on
was
the
playing the wide man
Sanger
on the left
21-yard
side,
line.
and he really let the punter to get to the outside of him, and so it really wasn't a real good play that time. When you're the wide man on the kickoff team, you've got to make sure you turn that play in. Don't let that ball carrier get outside of you. And that play, Shearer let him get outside of him.
There's a pitch back. And Centennial screams it out for a gain of about 2 yards.
Corey Williams, the ball carrier. Jason Waugh in on the stop.
Jason Waugh making the stop for Centennial. Last week playing quarterback, replacing Ballos for a couple of series. He had 3 touchdown passes. He completed 4 passes,
Williams
3
picks
of
up
them
3
were
yards on the play. Second and 7.
I'm of the opinion Jason Waugh is probably maybe one of the finest all-around athletes on this team. He can do so many positions and he helps the team out in so many ways.
Yeah. Inside handoff to about the 30-yard line. It'll be 3rd and short for the Sanger Apaches.
Williams stopped by Justin Davis.
It was Corey Williams once again with Justin Davis making the tackle. Right about Jason Waugh. He was a backup quarterback last year, but I think they like to use him more defensively.
Pick up a 5 on the play.
Returning punts.
3rd
Has
and
that great
2.
overall ability. 3rd and 2 for Sanger at their own 30. Corey Williams has a first down, drives forward. They will give him forward progress to about the 34-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Apaches.
Well, Mark, some good blocking on the left side of the Apaches offensive line, specifically number 76, Ephraim Coronado. He's a senior, 6'2", 270.
On the stop for
Offensive left tackle made a nice block there.
Apaches, wing T offense, keeping it on the ground across the 40, 41. Goes number 34, Herman Cooks.
Herman Cooks the ball
Nice
carrier
piece
for
of
the
running.
Apaches.
And they pick up about 7 yards on 1st down, 2nd and 3, and they are very quick to the ball. Running that hurry up offense. Split backs behind T. Maldonado to the outside, showing good quickness. 1st down for Sanger as he goes out of bounds at the 45.
Daniel Maldonado, the ball
Daniel
carrier.
Maldonado with 17 touchdowns
Stopped
this
by
year.
Jared
Last
Braxton.
year, he scored on a 70-yard run last week. Also had a reception for a touchdown.
Maldonado picks up
Number
another
2.
Apache first
Mark,
down.
Sanger's doing a very good job of getting the game outside of Centennial's defense and picking up some good gains. In that situation, Centennial was there, but he just had some great balance and was able to break a few tackles at the line of scrimmage and scampered around the left end for a 1st down.
He's 5'7", 150. He has the ball this time. Comes to the right side.
Once again.
Midfield 50, 45, knocked out of bounds, and should be another 1st down for Sanger. So they ran Williams, the big back, a couple of times.
Maldonado stopped by
wide
Andrew
left,
Scooby, who
wide
picks up
right.
another Sanger first
And
down.
he picks up 2 consecutive 1st downs for Sanger.
Well, Mark, they're coming to the line and they're snapping the ball real quickly, and Centennial's defense has not been set, but I think some of these plays Centennial hasn't seen before. In that situation there, they were caught inside. A lot of guys in the box, and nobody was wide, and they were able to go around and get around the penetration.
Quick pitch back to Williams. Up the middle, power move across the 40 to about the 38. Number 85 for Centennial over there.
Corey Williams, the ball carrier.
Mike Swan, and you're right. Have a lot of guys line up in the slot, guys in motion, different looks on almost every play, and pitching the ball back very
Stop made
quick.
by Swan.
Yes,
The quarterback goes up to the line of scrimmage to T. Ramirez and flips it out very quickly.
Yeah, Mark, they have a full house backfield, and there's a lot of blockers for the ball carrier, and they have some quick ball carriers. They hide behind their offensive linemen. But, you know, they have a lot of different formations. Centennial hasn't really adjusted to it yet.
Jones moved for Centennial. I don't know if he was pulled off sides, number 73. Or if he was against the offense or against the defense. Centennial may be trying to anticipate the count. It is against the Golden Hawks. Getting a little antsy, trying to anticipate the count. That's 5 yards. And Sanger will be very close to another 1st down at the Centennial 34-yard line. So the Apaches on the move, down 3-0 with 5:18 to play in the 1st quarter.
Well, Marco, we've seen it in a few games this year.
Road penalty
getting
marked
off to a
off
little bit of a
against
slow
Centennial.
start in a lot of their games, and I think they need to come out a little bit more ready to play early in the 1st quarter. We've seen a kind of a second-half team
Ramirez
getting
back to
behind.
pass.
The pass incomplete. I think it was tipped at the line of scrimmage, intended for number 5, Jeremy Vasquez. So it's 3rd and short for Sanger. So T. Ramirez throwing for the first time tonight, number 11 quarterback.
Well, Mark, I like that play because Ramirez takes a 3-step drop and just threw the ball quickly. No way the penetration could get to him on that shorter time, but they like to run the ball a lot, and then they like to set up some play-action passes with their running once they get the running game going.
3rd and short for Sanger. Corey Williams up the middle. Close to the 1st down mark. They drove him back.
Corey Williams, the ball
We'll
carrier.
have to see where they spot it. But I think Sanger will go for it on 4th down, even if they don't make it. He has some forward
Jeremiah
progress.
Davis in on the stop.
Davis in on the stop. And they're calling it 4th down. I'd say 4th down and a half yard.
4th and 1.
4:41 to play in the first quarter. 4th down for Sanger, Centennial 33-yard line. Maldonado in motion. Ramirez calls timeout. As he looks back at the coaching staff and wasn't sure what to call. The head coach, Chuck Shadance of Sanger, and of course, Centennial looking to make a big play defensively under the direction of Jan Stubbe.
Well, Mark, Ramirez came up that time. He was going to do a long count to try to draw Centennial offside. It didn't work. So in order for the clock to get delay of game penalty there, he just decided to call a timeout that they could talk about it. But they will go for it here, I'm sure.
Something he hasn't done all night is have a long count. In general, he has gotten up to the line of scrimmage and snapped the ball very quickly. Pitch out left, pitch out right. As they try to catch Centennial when they were shifting positions defensively.
If you don't like your mind, you can catch tonight's
Mark,
game on Time Warner
it's a situation
Cable
where
Channel 52 on
I think
Tuesday,
Centennial will
December
adjust
2nd at
to this
7:30.
game. A lot of formations by the Sanger offense, and right now it looks like Centennial is just a little step slow as far as trying to get their men in the right positions. But they've been caught a little bit out of position, and there's been a lot of good blocking, and they've picked up some good games. Sanger tonight.
And across right to their feet, 4th down. First down for Williams, but a flag is down. As it gets across the 25 to about the 22.
Picking up a first down.
But
There's a penalty flag on the play.
The
Holding
flag was
penalty
thrown
against
holding
Sanger.
against Sanger. So no wonder why the Apaches gained the first down. Holding the interior line. Look at number 78 for Sanger. Peter Wrestler is 6'3", 210 pounds. Number 76 on the line. Efren Coronado is 6'2", 270.
Mark, it's 4th and 8, and I would think now they would be punting the ball, but it looks like at this point, I would think they'd be punting, but it looks like they're going for it.
4th and 8.
I'm
4th and 8 from the Centennial 41. I definitely would be punting the ball. You run the risk of giving the Golden Hawks very good field position. I'd rather try to pooch it and get it inside the 20-yard line.
Well, Mark, if they go for it here, it's obvious that they feel very confident moving the ball against Centennial's defense because they've been very successful here in the first quarter. But 4th and 8 is at Centennial's 41-yard line. It's a little bit of a gamble, I would think.
Yeah. Wide to the right, Jeremy Vasquez, 4th and 8. Ramirez wrong to his right. Heavy pressure. He won't get it off. They throw him down. Kitcheny, number 77.
Well, Mark, I was a little surprised on that call by Sanger. They've been running the football beautifully tonight, and then they try a sprint out, which they haven't really been successful at this year. They're a running team, 4th and 8, and they play right into Centennial's hands. They rush the passer, and they get sacked. And now Centennial's first down at the Sanger 45-yard line. Surprise call, wouldn't you say?
Very surprise call. As you said, playing right into the Centennial defensive hands, and now the Golden Hawks have it, 1st and 10 from the Sanger 45. I don't necessarily agree with gambling so early in the ball game on the road. Wrong count. Adam Stubbe to the outside, cut down the 45-yard line.
Andrew Stubbe, the ball carrier.
And we had a 49-yard run earlier in the ball game, cut down and Centennial got a half yard.
Well, Mark, Herman Cook just shot through the gap and tripped up Stubbe. You know, that's one of the ways to really knock Stubbe down, Mark, is to hit him really low, because if you try to grab him high and break balance and strength, he tends to break tackles. In that situation, you must have looked at a lot of games from him, because they dove in, hit him low, and tripped him right up. Really, it's probably the best way to really take down Stubbe.
You can do it that way. A 2nd and 10 for the Golden Hawks. Roberts wide to the left, 3:16 to play. First quarter. Valos fires it. Incomplete. Might have been tipped by number 34 of Sanger, intended for Smith, 88.
Intended for Jamie Smith.
On the far side. Incomplete. 3rd down, 3rd and 10 for the Golden Hawks.
Well, Mark, Valos so far has been unsuccessful on his passing attempt tonight. He's been 0 for 3. Number 75 that time. Gil Garza, a junior, 6'2", 215, really put the pressure on him there. Really, he did a good job of making him hurry that throw. He threw it before he wanted to, and he threw the ball behind his receivers.
Against Jason Juan Bratcher wide to the left for Centennial, 2 of their fleet receivers. Valos, now he's on a heavy rush. Fires it complete the wall. At the 30-yard line, 1st down, but a flag is down in the backfield, holding against the Golden Hawks.
There is a holding penalty
It will
on the
not
play.
count.
Well, Mark, I guess turnabout's fair play. On the last series, Sanger had a holding call on a first down. Now Centennial has a holding call on a first down. But again, Mark, they're getting tremendous pressure on the quarterback tonight, Vados. In fact, we've seen Centennial players here, and this is the most pressure I've seen him under. He is not getting kind of time to throw, and it seems like that Sanger really is looking good tonight here in the first quarter. They're being very aggressive defensively. They're blitzing a little bit, and that last play there was a blitz by the linebacker, so they're really mixing up their pass defense very well enough. They're disguising a lot of their coverages, and Vados had a little bit of a problem tonight reading the defense.
Talk about Gil Garza at 75. Three-man front for Sanger, 3rd and long for Centennial. Valles fires an Andrew Stubbe, 40-yard line, cuts back 45, and he's down. And they did a good job containing him that time. And we have a 4th down situation for the Golden Hawks, and they should be punting. 35 with a nice tackle. Josh Myers, Sanger, and also number 2.
by Josh Myers.
Danny Montanado kind of turning
Brings
in.
it 4th down.
Mark, we've been impressed with Sanger's defense tonight. They seem like they have a lot of good team speed. Plays are open, and they really close down the play quickly. And, they struggled last week. They look very effective tonight, don't they? They're very impressive here in the first quarter.
Last week was 35-33 over Tulare. Who's not what you call an elite team. Smith with the punt, in over in. Comes to Cooks, across the 25 to about the 27. Herman Cooks for Sanger. 1st and 10 for the Apaches, down 3-0 with 2 minutes to play in the first quarter from Golden Hawk Stadium.
Herman Cooks, ball carrier for Sanger.
So, Mark, we'll see what Sanger does here on their
Stop by
second
Gonzalez
offensive
and
series.
Swan.
The last series, they were very effective running the football wide on Centennial. Centennial was caught out of position on several plays. And then, of course, they had a first down. Holding brought it back. Then they attempted to go on 4th down. 4th and long, a questionable passing play, and Centennial was able to stop him, pick up the ball. So now they got their second offensive series. See if Centennial made any adjustments in the last series.
Now they're splitting out into passing formation. Williams, the ball carrier, runs wide. Running hard, might have the first down. Across the 35 and close to the 40.
Well, Mark, tonight they're getting outside of Centennial. We haven't seen teams get outside of Centennial much this year, so I don't know. It looks like Centennial is pinched inside in the box. A lot of players. They need to spread themselves out a little bit and get a little wider on the corners because they're getting around on them.
That time Sanger had receivers split to each side, which is something I haven't seen tonight by them, and they ran the ball, so they're showing a lot of different looks to the Golden Hawks defense. That was a gain of about 7. A long 7, 2nd and 3. Vasquez wide to the right. Might be motion against Sanger. I think they had 2 guys in motion on the play. It looks somewhat confusing as the officials throw the flag. 1:50 to play in the first quarter. 3-0 Golden Hawks. But it's against Centennial. Offsides.
Well, Mark, number 54 is the right guard for Sanger, Chris Ogawa. He's a senior, 5'8", 185 going up against Brian Kitchen. And Brian Kitchen should have an advantage there. So, I mean, there's really no reason in that situation to jump off sides because you've got a large size advantage on that man. Of course, Ogawa has the edge in quickness. That's one player that I think Centennial needs to exploit.
That's the second time the Golden Hawks have been offside tonight.
They give Sanger a first down.
And on this occasion, it gives Sanger a first down. Maldonado, the ball carrier.
Danny
Nice big line.
the ball carrier.
Dragged down across the 45 to the 47. Good blocking on the left side by Sanger. Moving Centennial out, again of about 7 or 8.
Well, you know, Mark, I was watching number 54 there for Sanger, Ogawa, and also 53, John Lopez, and you know they're going against Kitchen and Lonnie Jones.
5'8", 185, Ogawa.
And all they're doing against Jones and Kitchen is just
Maldonado
hitting him low
by
in the legs. They're just trying to knock him off their feet. They're not trying to take him head up. They're just hitting him low, slow him down a little bit.
That's what you got to do against big guys. Somebody's about 4 to 6 inches taller than you and much heavier. You have to hit them low. You cannot contend with them man-to-man at chest level.
Right, and you know, I think Sanger's offensive line is a little bit quicker than the Centennial defense, so they're using their quickness.
Illegal procedure penalty.
And a 5-yard penalty against Sanger brings it 5 yards back, and they'll have it 2nd and 8.
Against Sanger.
Just over 1 minute to play in the first quarter.
Well, Mark, number 53, the left tackle, has been very successful tonight for Sanger. John Lopez, 6'2", 250. He's done a great job as left tackle and really opened up a lot of holes when they run wide to the left.
Pass play from Ramirez, looking to throw it long, double coverage, picked off by Bratcher. That'll be 1st and 10 for the Golden Hawks at their own 20-yard line.
Again, Marty Ramirez that time threw into double coverage. There was nobody open that play. And, of course, Centennial made the nice interception to take it 1st and 10 at their own 20. Again, Sanger running the ball effectively. They go to the pass, and bad things happen. Last time he was sacked for a big loss on 4th down when he went to the air. This time he threw into double coverage, tried to go deep. Centennial had double coverage on and made the interception. So again, Sanger has proven they're successful on the ground. When they go to the air, they tend to have made some mistakes tonight.
1st and 10 for the Golden Hawks at their own 20. Less than 1 minute to play in the first quarter. Smith in motion. Long count by Vallis. Pitch back. Andrew Stubbe tries to cut back, and they swarm him. Whoa, 4 or 5 Apaches putting Andrew Stubbe down at the 20-yard line.
Stopped by Vasquez.
He was trying to look to cut back against the grain and ran into about 5 of them. He strung it out very well.
Well, Mark, Sanger's done a very good job so far here in the first quarter. They've shown a lot of team speed. They're also taking away Stubbe's cutback ability, and so he's not able to cut back against the grain. And I think the field's a little bit damp tonight, and I think it is neutralized a little bit of Stubbe's quickness out there. So they're going to have to make some adjustments, Centennial.
Roberts wide to the left. Ratcher wide right. Vallis. Stubbe again. Oh, hit! What a hit at the 20-yard line by number 42. Kirk Puchigian.
Stubbe stopped by Puchigian.
Straight up, plowed into him, knocked him on his behind, as they would say. 5-175.
With the score.
At a first quarter comes to a conclusion.
Sanger 0.
Centennial 3, Sanger nothing on Time Warner Cable, Channel 52.
Gotchalk is the place to go to dress up your home. It's the place to go. Gotchalk, we're your store.
Where did the power flow come from?
The new Power Flow sports bottle. It's faster, so you can get back into the game where you belong. The new Power Flow from Powerade. Power the working muscles when you need it. I am not done.
Get back into the game with Powerade. This game is brought to you by Powerade and your Coca-Cola bottler in Bakersfield. Powerade, you are not done.
Excuse me, is that tuxedo from AJ's?
Let AJ's get you noticed. A Bakersfield tradition for over 25 years. Specializing in Pierre Cardin, Christian Dior, Oscar de la Renta, and Calvin Klein. AJ's Tuxedo Junction with 3 great locations to serve you.
Now the Centennial Golden Hawks lead the Sanger Apaches 3-0 as we begin the second quarter of action from Golden Hawk Stadium in northwest Bakersfield. Sanger has run the ball very effectively, but they don't look too good when they pass the ball. Centennial, I don't think, is as up for the game as they should be. I don't think they've played a real sharp first half.
So far, right, Mark?
That's right, begin the second quarter. 3rd and long, the Golden Hawks. Play action, the pass incomplete. Intended for Bratcher, the defensive back fell down, Bravo.
Pass intended for Bratcher.
Well, Mark, one of the problems tonight is the Centennial passing game
down.
has just not been there. Bayless now is 0 for 4 at the passing game, and the field is a little bit damp. You could have a little bit of trouble gripping the ball, but again, that play was open. It was down and out, about 7 yards to the outside. He just overthrew his man by about 10 yards.
I don't know if you remember, but he was hit and knocked out of the game last week, and of course Stubbe said he was fine to play, but he hasn't been sharp at the beginning of the game. Jason Wall came in and did a great job last week. We could see Wall at some point tonight at quarterback. The offense continues to struggle.
The punter for Centennial.
Short punt by Smith, not a good one. Takes a Centennial roll as it goes to the Sanger 45-yard line. Both of Smith's punts tonight have been rather lackluster, I would say.
Yes, that's only about a 35-yard punt, so it got a friendly roll too. So again,
but he hasn't really boomed them though on 2 occasions.
No, and they're a little bit, maybe a little bit colder tonight. The air's a little bit dead. He just hasn't gotten 2 good kicks off. But you need to do a little bit better than the 34, 35-yard.
Like
kick.
I said, you have to pick it up to another level in the playoffs.
we can see Sanger has compared from last week to Tulare. They won by a few points with 35-34 or 35-33.
35-33, yes.
And tonight they played much better against Centennial.
Well, they knew they had to. Pitch in the backfield is fumbled by Maldonado. Straight on with one guy, gets around across the 45 to about the 46.
Daniel Maldonado.
He could have lost about 6 yards. He gains about 2.
Stop made by Stubbe.
Andrew Stubbe, number 43 with the tackle. He did a great job to even gain anything.
Well, Mark, number 30, Brian Durmeyer, number Chris 30 there, he had a chance to get him for about a 5-yard loss, but again, missed the tackle. Sanger's been doing a good job tonight, running the ball forcefully. The running backs have shown good balance, good speed, and good power, and they're breaking tackles.
The only problem I have with Sanger tonight is throwing some of those long passes. When they throw, it should be short. Second man through, Corey Williams, big opening, 45, 40-yard line, breaks the tackle to the 30, and knocked out of bounds at the 20-yard line.
Corey Williams.
Corey Williams running through and around people. Number 9.
Mark, that was about a 32-yard run again. He went up the middle, broke to the left, and almost outran the secondary for a touchdown. Picked up about a 32-yard touchdown, 32-yard pickup for a first down for Sanger. Sanger on the move again, looking very effective when they run the football.
They just have problems when they try to pass it. Their passing game should be short. As you know, they're faking 1 or 2 guys in the backfield. You have Cooks and Wins in the backfield. Cooks, the ball carrier, now going wide, tries to cut back, and strung out very well by Kitching and company for Centennial.
Stopped by Brian Kitching.
Number 77. Jones, 73 over there. Also for the Golden Hawks. Number 90, Kevin Scott. The Kitching made the initial stop.
Well, Mark, Centennial's defense had a little bit of a problem with the speed of the Sanger backfield. They're really having a hard time getting a good read on how quick they are. And so far tonight, they're just not anticipating well on defense. And
the misdirection is hurting them too. There's Corey Williams. Good block, now cuts back. Nice tackle inside the 20 to about the 18. I don't know if it was number 30 that made the initial stop. Brian Durmeyer. A couple of other Golden Hawks were there. Kind of tripped them up as they fell forward.
Well, Mark, one player we haven't heard of tonight for Centennial, he helped on that tackle, is number 6, Mike Gonzalez. The first time he's been on a play. So tonight he needs to step it up. He hasn't really been in the mix too much tonight.
Got a big game against DHS. That 14-10 victory.
Stopped by Mike Gonzalez.
Williams, number 9, looks to be a very strong runner for Sanger. 3rd and 6 for the Apaches. Cooks in motion. Ramirez, play action.
Ramirez back to pass.
Back. Throws it. Incomplete on the far side.
Pass intended for Maldonado.
Well, Mark, that time he was heavily rushed by Lonnie Jones and Kitching, but again, they had 3rd and 6, and again, they sprint out right, try to throw the football.
They've been running the football.
They've been running the ball so successfully tonight. Again, they get in 3rd down situations, they throw, and he hasn't completed a pass yet.
No. Double coverage on the far side, too. At 4th and 6 for the Apaches, and yes, they should run the football.
The thing is, Mark, when he rolls out, he's scrambling, he's running backwards. You're not going to get anything on the ball if you try to throw it anyway. When he goes back to pass, he's running for his dear life. They've been so successful running the football, they always start throwing the football when they get 3rd and long or 4th and long, and they move the ball down the field beautifully. When they get into by the red zone, they start throwing the football.
Remember, they had it 4th and 8 from the Centennial 40 early in the ball game. And he sprinted out right and lost about 15 yards on the sack. And then, of course, here on 4th down, I guess they're going to try for a field goal on 4th and 6 with 9:31 to play in the first half.
Well, I just think that when you're doing running the football effectively, especially in the middle of the field, and you get down inside the red zone, keep doing what you're doing. You know, it's proven that they're a running football team. They've got some great runners in the backfield, some good speed. They have good blocking. They're not really a passing team. They start throwing the football.
Tomas Lopez will try a 34-yarder for the Apaches.
Tomas Lopez.
A 34-yard field goal.
Attempting a 34-yard field goal.
Snap is down. The kick is far enough. It is good.
The kick is good.
Right down the middle. We have a 3-3 ball game. 9 minutes plus to play in the first half.
It looked like he had to wait a little bit on that mark for the snapper to get the ball down, but he made a nice kick on it. So they do have a field goal kicker, and I think that was a good play there, 4th and 6 to go for a field goal, because that puts you tied 3-3 here at 9:25 left in the half. Centennial having some difficulty defensively trying to guard against that team's speed. Sanger appears to be a little smaller and a little quicker, Mark, than Centennial is, and they're really giving them some fits on some of the wide plays and some misdirection plays, and they've been very effective tonight. Centennial needs to step it up a little bit, I think, offensively, and maybe control the ball a little bit. They haven't been able to run the football here in the first half, and they need to do that to give the defense a little bit of a rest. The defense has been on the field a lot here in the first half.
That was set up by a fine 32-yard run by Corey Williams, number 9, for Sanger, who's looked very impressive tonight. So Long and Lopez with field goals on the respective teams, 3-3. As number 18, Tomas Lopez, will be kicking off for the Sanger Apaches. And they have brought a great contingent from Sanger. The far side is filled with Apache fans. Shows they have a lot of community support up there.
And they're playing a game, too, tonight. They're playing very effectively, very aggressive. They've come to play. They scouted Centennial very well tonight. And if I could say anything negative about it, would be that he's throwing the football too much. He should be running the ball.
They won the Central Section Championship in 1976, beating Foothill. A line drive that, taken by Centennial, returns to the 40-yard line. I think number 83, Taylor Abernathy, was surprised to see the ball come to him. Takes it back to the 40-yard line. I don't really like that. That gives Centennial good field position.
Taylor Abernathy recovering for Centennial.
I'm not sure if they have a kicker that can even go deep, but for some reason the strategy is to kick the ball
Abernathy gets
on like a squib
the
kick there, and I agree with you,
line.
Mark. Get the ball to the 40-yard line. That's good field position for Centennial.
Cratcher and Roberts wide to the left for the Golden Hawks. Ball on the right hash mark. Fouls with Echeverry and Andrew Stubbe behind him. Morales in there. Play action. The pass over the middle. Complete to Smith. Inside the 40. First down for Centennial.
Smith is complete.
Mark,
Smith, one of the most improved receivers on the Centennial team this year.
Yeah, Mark, he just went down over the center of the
Stopped
field.
by Caleb
Nice
Bravo.
21-yard pass for a first down. That time, Bayless did good. He took a 4-step drop, took his time. He waited for his man to get open and threw a nice pass. That's the best pass he's thrown tonight. In fact, his first completion went for 5.
And he set up very well. Unfried wide to the right for the Golden Hawks. Morales in there at tailback, I believe, and he has the ball. Oh, he is hit at the line of scrimmage. Number 75, Gil Garza.
Stopped by Garza.
Whoa. That's the second vicious hit employed by the Apaches tonight.
Well, Mark, he goes to 6'2", 215, plays down defensive lineman, and he's a hitter in there. Garza, he's made a couple hits tonight. Again, Centennial having a difficult time running the football tonight with their good size in the line. I think the Sanger defense is a little quicker and is giving them some problems tonight.
It's 2nd and 10 for the Golden Hawks at the Sanger 40-yard line. Pitch back. Croucher coming to the other side. Tries to cut back. And they swarm him after a gain of about 2 yards. We haven't seen that play this year. Bradshaw lining up on the right side, the wide receiver. Takes the pitch from Valos, goes to the left side. Looked like he had a chance to get some yards. But Sanger really filled it very well. He tried to cut back, and they swarmed him.
Well, Mark, Centennial really set that play up very well. The blocking was there, but what hurt that play was number 11 for Sanger, T. Ramirez, was playing safety. He stayed at home, and he just made the play over there. In other words, he didn't fall for the fake. And so Sanger is playing very intelligent on defense tonight. They're not making any mistakes. Players are doing their assignments tonight.
3rd and 9 for the Golden Hawks. Gallows to throw, looking over the middle. Nice catch by Waugh at the 20. Fumble the ball. Or did he? Well, they're calling it down, okay.
Pass complete to Jason Waugh.
Wasn't too sure about that. Waugh caught the ball at the 20-yard line, was hit. It looked like he fumbled before he hit the ground. But the officials say no, it's a first down for Centennial. I'd have to see that one again.
Well, yeah, Mark, I couldn't tell whether his knee hit the ground before he fumbled or not. Well, you know, there were a lot of players around him, and without replay here at this point, there's no way for me to know. So it was a close play, but, you know, the official called it right away. It was right on the play, so we have to go with what the official said on that.
Well, Jason Waugh being used as a wide receiver tonight. Big play man, first down for Centennial inside the 20 at the 18. Long count by Valles. Morales, good blocking. Dragged down from behind. Number 78.
Morales, the ball carrier.
Nice play by Peter Wrestler.
Stop made by Peter Wrestler.
Morales not really busting loose to get the opening, dragged from behind. You know, Morales has played this entire series in place of Andrew Stubbe, who I guess is getting rest. Andrew back in the game, number 43.
Well, Mark, Wrestler, 6'3",
Morales gets back to the line of scrimmage.
They got good
no
height
gain
on
on
their
the play.
team. They're not as big as Centennial, but you know what they're doing? They're showing more quickness.
Timeout Centennial.
Centennial's having a difficult time blocking the quicker defensive line of Sanger. They're pursuing very well and have a little more team speed.
We'll have a 2nd and 10 situation coming up with 6:42 to play in the first half. A 3-3 game between the Golden Hawks and the Apaches of Sanger.
Mark, there's one thing Centennial probably could use that they don't have. They don't really have a lot of speed in their offensive backfield, though. I mean, you know, Stubbe has decent speed, but the other runner they have in there is not really a speed runner there, and he doesn't really show a lot of team speed. He doesn't seem to have that acceleration. He had an opening there, but he just didn't hit it quick enough.
Yeah, Jesse Morales. Well, Centennial relies on their big offensive line to create holes for them. The running backs tend to kind of glide over there and then try to break it at the last minute. Sanger's catching them from behind tonight, something that most teams don't do.
Right, and I think if you watch Echeverry a lot and Morales, neither one of them has great team speed, great speed individually, and I think they're being run down by the Sanger defensive line and linebackers. You know, other than Stubbe, when he's not in there, they do lack a little bit of speed, and they try to use their power, but you know, sometimes speed, you know, works against power a lot of times. You know, would you rather be big or quick?
Let me tell you one thing, Dennis. With Centennial's offensive line, even a mediocre and average runner would gain yards. Take it from me.
I agree with you.
I'm not saying average 8 yards a carry. I'm saying would gain yards.
But tonight, Sanger, smaller, quicker defense is really giving Centennial fits. You know, they're blocking them, but what's happening is that they're getting up and still making the tackle.
Right. After they get knocked down to get back up, they don't quit. 2nd and 10 for the Golden Hawks. Morales back there with Echeverry. Bratcher in motion. Long count by Valles. Pitch back to Morales. The 20, hit in the backfield. Knocked forward at the 16. I think 42 hit him. Kirk Pachugian. He had a big hit on Stubbe earlier in the game. His initial stop.
Morales, the ball carrier.
Morales fell forward. A couple of other Apaches were there. And it'll be
3
3rd down
yards
and
on the
7.
play.
Well, Mark, like you say, they're facing a team
3rd and
Sanger
7
tonight who's played good competition this year, and Sanger has a lot of speed, and the speed is really giving Centennial some fits tonight. They're trying to go wide on him, but you know, Sanger's shown good pursuit tonight, and they're really running a lot of their running backs down.
3rd and 7 for the Golden Hawks. Jason Wall wide to the right, Bratcher wide left. Echeverry, Morales in the backfield. Valles to throw, pretty good protection, into the end zone, knocked away, incomplete.
That's intended for Smith.
Was it 34 who knocked it back? Cooks, he wasn't quite the deep man. He was about 5 yards in front of the receiver. They had 2 or 3 guys covering the intended receiver, Smith, for Centennial.
Well, he was open for a split second, but in order to get the ball there, you've got to have a John Elway on. I mean, you have to really fire that ball, and the defense was able to come up and tip the ball away, but he was open for a split second, but you got to have a gun to get that ball where you need it there.
Morales comes in late on the field goal attempt by Long, a 31-yarder. It's long enough, looks good. No good, must have hooked it wide left.
32-yard field goal.
Definitely had the distance and the height, but he hooked it wide left. So we still have a 3-3 game. Centennial struggling tonight, 5:46 to play in the first half against a very pesky and very determined Sanger Apache team.
Well, Mark, what's hurt Centennial tonight is their wide plays are just not effective tonight. They don't have the speed from the offensive receivers and the backs to really get open, but they're doing a fine job, Sanger defensively pursuing.
I got a question for you. Why is Justin Morales playing so much of running back tonight? Is there something wrong with Andrew Stubbe, 43? And Andrew, as you know, plays defense, but Morales, to be honest with you, is not the runner that Stubbe is. Well, Mark, he doesn't get up to the line of scrimmage as well. He got hurt Centennial a little bit the last couple of series.
Well, I think Andrew Stubbe, took a shot earlier in the game, and I think he might have hurt his ribs or something there, and so they're
He's
working
down in
on
front of us. I was wondering about that.
Morales
is a fine runner, but I'm surprised he'd be running this early in the ball game, and he just is not quite as effective as Andrew Stubbe.
Well, like we say,
doesn't have the quickness or the game-breaking ability.
Yeah, and like we say, I think Stubby's recovering from that hit he took earlier in the offensive series. But you know, the thing is, the wide plays aren't working tonight, and the quickness of Sanger has really stopped Centennial's running game. So they've been forced to throw the football, and they haven't been real successful. But I think it's just a situation, Mark, where Sanger has more speed, and they're really giving Centennial some fits tonight.
2nd and 9 for the Apaches. Williams, a ball carrier, up to about the 25. Gain of 3 or 4 yards, tackled by number 45 for Centennial. And that'd be Rusty Coons.
Dearmeyer and Coons in on the stop for Centennial.
We'll call it 3rd down, 3rd and 4 for the Apaches. 4:50 to play in the first half.
Well, Mark Sanger's come to play tonight, and one player who's been very effective tonight, Mark, for him on the offensive line is Sammy Villagomez, a senior, 5'7", 265.
Cooks in motion. Williams, a ball carry, hit, and dropped as he gets to the 29. It'll be 4th down for Sanger.
Williams was tripped up by Davis.
They'll be shy of the 1st down. 4th down. I'm sure that Sanger will punt. At least I think they should.
Short of the first down, brings it 4th and 1.
The entire team is looking to the coaching staff. But I can't imagine them going for it deep in their own territory with a 3-3 ball game. They like to gamble at Sanger. I don't know what you have to gain by this.
Williams, back by Dearmeyer.
And Centennial will take over.
Mark, that was a ridiculous call by the coaching staff at Sanger. You got to say it like it is. I mean, you got a 3-3 tie in the quarterfinals of the Valley playoffs on your own 29-yard line. You're running the football there. I mean, that doesn't even make any sense at all. I mean, I know you've been running the football well, but it's just not even a smart play at all. I think he feels they have to gamble tonight because, you know, he's got a 3-3 game. He feels Centennial's a home team favorite, but still, it's not a smart play.
I don't think you have to gamble in the first half, though. Your team is playing well. You know, emotionally they're into it. I think it kind of demoralizes them when they don't make it. Why take them out of the game early? Valles to throw. Over the middle, a pass intercepted by Cooks. They get it back, despite some of the calls by the Sanger offense. The defense has been able to get him out of it.
Well, Mark, Vados tonight's really struggling with his passing. Again, he threw that ball into double coverage. It was not a good throw at all. And he's really struggling with his passing tonight. And we've seen them look very good earlier, but tonight in this game, their passing has just not been there. It's been really inefficient, and they're going to have to go in at halftime and talk about it and see if they can get a little more efficiency and balance in their offense. But you got to give Sanger credit. Again, double teamed. Defense was covered.
Yeah, it's kind of remind me of the Foothill against BHS game. 4th and 3. The quarterback runs to the short side of the field and loses a yard. 4th and 1, they run it wide left Sanger to the short side.
Ball carrier.
Maldonado across the 15 to the 17-yard line. And you can talk about being a backseat quarterback or not, but that's just not a smart play. I would do it.
Davis and
I would do it
on the
in the second half.
Centennial.
3-3 game, maybe in the first quarter, not in the first half.
Yeah, well, it didn't matter. The defense came up with another big play. The way Centennial's moving the ball offensively, maybe it's not a bad play because right now Sanger's really stopped them in the red zone pretty much all tonight.
Fast was wide to left. 2nd and 7. Ramirez rolling to his right.
Ramirez keeps the ball.
Tries to keep it, cuts back, and doesn't get up to the 20-yard line. An unusual play, had a lot of guys in motion.
Ramirez is stopped by Davis and Dearmeyer.
Inside the 20 to the 19-yard line, Davis and Dearmeyer with the tackle for Centennial. This has been somewhat of an unusual game. Had some turnovers. A key player for Centennial was hurt, number 43, Andrew Stubbe. He's been very durable the entire year. We saw him take that hit by Kachigian, and he has been playing on defense. And that's somewhat of a loss for Centennial.
Right, because they have to go more to their passing game, and so far tonight, Vados has not been successful throwing the football. And you got to give Sanger a lot of credit. They've done a good job of doubling the wideouts, and there just hasn't been too much room to throw the football. There hasn't been a lot of spacing, and Vados has tried to force that ball
Andrew
a little
Horn
bit,
is
and it has not been successful.
New quarterback, a new running back, and Centennial stuffs him inside the 25. The Golden Hawks calling for a timeout. It'll be 4th down for Sanger. Hopefully they will be punting this one. 2:35 to play in the first half. Timeout for the Golden Hawks. The number 25 was the ball carrier, Chris Mendoza. and they were utilizing a new quarterback.
Well, Mark, this team's a gambler. He thought about going for it again on 4th and short. I'll tell you, it seems on a 3-3 game, of course, it is a short yard there, but you're on your own 24-yard line. He looked like he was thinking about going for it again, but he decided to punt. If they punt, it might be a fake. Here they go. I guess they're going to bring their punting team in, but we could have a fake. I mean, he's a wide open type of coach. I mean, they'd go for it.
Maybe that's why they scored 35 last week. I don't mind going for it when it's near midfield, late in the ball game, and in the first half of a 3-3 game, you're putting your defense with the backs to the wall. Sure, they're making the plays. Why put them in that kind of position?
Well, Mark, so far in tonight's game, I think you have to look at Sanger. They've moved the ball effectively on offense. They've had some time of possession. They've been able to get the ball at least for a 3-point.
4th and 1.
Again, Mark, it looked like Sanger was going for it on 4th and short. They lined up
Timeout Centennial.
in their formation to punt, then they took some of the players out, and then they decided to go for it. And now Centennial was confused, called a timeout.
And the Golden Hawks have called 2 consecutive timeouts. 2:37 to play in the first half. 3-3 Centennial and Sanger on Time Warner Cable, Channel 52.
You know Time Warner Productions' duplication department is the leader in video duplication in all formats and is able to convert videotapes made in foreign countries. What you probably didn't know, we offer professional repair of broken VHS tape. Time Warner Productions' splicing and repair department will professionally splice, replace parts, and reassemble your broken VHS tape. For only $29.95, you'll get a fully functional original and a duplicate copy to protect your precious memories for the future. Call Time Warner Productions today at 322-1941 and reclaim those valuable images for tomorrow.
Fourth down and 1, they're going for it. The Apaches, long count. Maldonado slot right. Now he's in motion. And I think it's a motion play against Sanger. Against Ramirez, the quarterback.
Illegal procedure penalty against Sanger.
Well, Mark, what he did, he tried to change the snap count, but he took a step back, and that's a legal procedure there. They were a little confused on that time. Again, not really a smart play by the coach, though. If it's 4th and 1, just punt the ball. You know, you put yourself now at 4th and 6. I mean, it doesn't make a lot of sense to be trying to draw them off sides.
I don't know if they don't have confidence in their punter or what. In this sense, they lose 5 yards. The punter's a quarterback, T. Ramirez. He will be punting from his own 5-yard line. There's a snap.
T. Ramirez, the punter for Sanger.
Good punter. Best we've seen tonight. Bradshaw fumbles it out of bounds at a 40-yard line. Well, that guy can punt. Beautiful punt. That's what you want to do.
Ball rolls out of bounds on the Centennial 39-yard
Mark, I think Centennial
line.
has the ball back now with 2:29 left in the first half, probably their last offensive series before halftime. They're going to have to try to find a way, if not now at halftime, to get the running game going. I know Stubby's been out, shaken up earlier in the game on a good hit by the Sanger defense, but they're going to have to find a way to get some of the wide plays working tonight. Maybe they could go to Echeverry a little bit up the middle because he's been kind of a forgotten man tonight.
Yeah, amazing. He had 3 touchdowns last week. I don't think he's carried the ball one time tonight. He's in there at fullback with Justin Morales. Bradshaw wide right. Morales calling signals. Draw play to Morales. Hitting the backfield and drop. Got a hold of his feet. I think it was number 78. Peter Wessler making the tackle.
Morales stopped by Martinez.
They lose about 2 or 3 yards. 2nd and 13. 2 minutes to play first half. Dallas looking this direction. The pass complete to Bradshaw out of bounds at the 47-yard line.
Dallas' pass complete
Long
to Jared
out
Bradshaw.
pattern to number 20, Jared Bradshaw, who generally has been their long man this year. They threw 1 deep to him tonight. It was incomplete. Now Jason Waugh, 22, comes in. So you have Waugh and Bradshaw in the ball game at the same time. That's happened 3 times tonight. Waugh has 1 reception inside the 20-yard line for Centennial. Bradshaw wide left, Waugh to the right. Sanger 5-man front. Dallas from his 40-yard line. Fires it to the defense again. Boy. Intercepted. He threw it right to number 5, Jeremy Vasquez. You would have thought he had a Centennial jersey on.
Intercepted by Jeremy
His man was outside 5-7 yards away from the ball.
Jeremy.
And he had time to throw.
Smith in on the stop.
Yes, there must have been some kind of mix-up there on the receiver and the quarterback, because on that situation, Vados threw the ball to the wrong man, obviously, Mark. I think it was a mix-up on the route or something. But again, Centennial trying to throw the football, I think maybe too much tonight. They're really a running team. And it looks like they've given up on the running game and trying to throw the ball. And it's really not their game. And it's really difficult to choose.
The problem is they're not running the football. They're not making any yards. In fact, they're losing as many yards as they're gaining.
From here, it's back to pass.
Pass intercepted, I think, by Centennial. Coons at the 42. So back-to-back turnovers by each team. We can't say the offense has been splendid by either unit tonight. Some of the passes have just been very poorly thrown.
Again, both teams successful running the football, I think especially Sanger. But again, with less than 2 minutes left, Sanger feels they had to throw the football here, Mark, to get in field goal position, which I agree with them. But again, neither team has been very successful throwing the football. It seems like both quarterbacks throwing that ball into a crowd, and both quarterbacks have had time to throw tonight. So what you're seeing is two teams that have not been able to run the football maybe the way they wanted to here in the second quarter, and both teams are forcing the ball up in the air, throwing against double coverages, not being successful.
And both quarterbacks have been picked off twice tonight in the first half. Very unusual. There's Echeverry up the middle, across the 45 to about the 47.
Echeverry, the ball carrier.
We talked about him, Mark. I mentioned him earlier. Go back to the some of the quick hits up the middle.
Right.
You know, Centennial's a bigger team. Why not run straight at him instead of going wide? Because when you go wide, Sanger's able to pursue and run you down. I think you have to go straight at the middle, use your bigger lineman to push him back.
Now, use your power. That's right. They're trying to go wide and cut back against the grain, and Sanger's cutting them down from behind. 1:37 to play in the first half of a 3-3 game between Centennial and Sanger, the Golden Hawks and the Apaches.
Well, Mark, we had seen Centennial play earlier, and they were very successful with their passing game, but that was complemented with the running game. But tonight, Valos trying to do it all with his passing has not been successful, but he's really struggled with his throwing tonight.
Andrew Stubbe had a 49-yard run. Besides that, they haven't gained too much on the ground. 2nd and 4 for the Golden Hawks. Valos, play action, going deep for Waugh down the sideline. Has a ball. Close to the goal line. Jason Waugh. 1st and goal for the Golden Hawks.
Mark, we talked about Waugh probably being maybe their best all-around athlete. Again, that was a stop and go down the right sideline. Valos was patient, took an 8-step drop. His line gave him great protection, especially Kitching. He picked up a blitz that time by the defensive cornerback, and a beautiful throw by the quarterback, Valos.
1st and goal for the Golden Hawks. Morales off the right side. Touchdown, Golden Hawks. Valos to Wall, a big play tonight. In fact, they have connected twice this evening.
Touchdown.
Now, Jason Wall is a backup quarterback, but he's a fine receiver and also a fine safety for Centennial. He could do it all with Andrew Stubbe hurt. He's been asked to do a little bit more offensively tonight. As you see, holds on place kicks too.
You know, Mark, that's one thing they could do too, maybe in the second half, is maybe put Wall a little bit of quarterback and run the option, because he is a very effective runner from the quarterback position. But, you know, Vados having some problems here in the first half, but he made amends there on that last pass play there, a 45-yard pass down to the 1-yard line. Because Centennial first down, and of course then, you know, Morales puts the ball in from the 1-yard out. That puts Centennial ahead 10-3 here in the first half.
59 seconds to play in the second quarter. 10-3 Centennial.
The
passing game has come up big for them.
Excuse me, how big was that play right before halftime? Boy, what a difference in 3-3 and 10-3, huh?
A big difference. I'm sure the Golden Hawks will play much differently in the second half.
Well, you know, Mark, I've always been of the belief that, you know, Centennial's a bigger team, and Sanger is a little bit quicker, but, you know, teams get tired. And when you get tired, you don't have quite the same speed. Then power takes over. I really believe that Centennial can wear this team down in the second half a little bit. I firmly believe that. We'll see if that happens or not. If they can limit their turnovers, I really believe in the second half Centennial needs to come out and get physical. And I think they can get this team tired because they are smaller.
Long will be kicking off for the Golden Hawks. Of course, from the 40-yard line. The Apaches with 3 and Centennial with 10 points tonight. In this quarterfinal game for Golden Hawk Stadium.
For Centennial.
Comes to Maldonado, 15.
Daniel Maldonado, the ball carrier.
Breaks a tackle, 20-yard line, out of bounds on the far side. Maybe across the 25.
Maldonado was chased out of bounds.
It was Daniel Maldonado.
Well, Mark, I think in this situation with 53 seconds left at halftime, Sanger just run the clock out here because, you know, their throwing has not been effective tonight, and you don't want to turn over here right before halftime, give Centennial the ball again. So I think you'll see them run the football, but he's surprised us all night, the coach of Sanger, so we don't know what he's going to do for sure.
1st and 10 for the Apaches. Wide left, Jeremy Vasquez. Ramirez. There's Corey Williams. Across the 30, 35, first down to about the 39. Corey Williams, number 9, has been the most effective runner for Sanger tonight, and he can definitely break tackles and take it. 45 seconds to play in the first half. Sanger from their own 39. 10-3 Centennial. Ramirez to throw. Good protection. The pass complete. First down to Vasquez at the 49-yard line of Centennial. Nice pass. Vasquez went up in the air for that. Climbed the ladder for the reception. So Sanger trying to show some diversity here in the ladder going of the first half. 35 seconds to play in the second quarter. Bravo, wide right. Vasquez, wide left. Ramirez. Straight drop back. Fires it incomplete. Looking for Williams to go out and up. He was covered by Davis very well. And it's 2nd and 10 for Sanger.
Williams is incomplete.
21 seconds to play in the second quarter.
Well, I think now Sanger is forced to throw the football, Mark. They want to get themselves in position maybe for a field goal or, you know, possibly a pass in the flat. The guy might be able to break a few tackles and put the ball in the end zone and tie the game up. But I think what Centennial needs to do here, Mark, is put pressure on the quarterback. The last 2 offensive plays for Sanger, Ramirez has had a lot of time to throw, and you can't give a quarterback that kind of time. You've got to put some pressure on him.
2nd and 10 for the Apaches.
Ramirez back to pass.
The Golden Hawks coming on defense. His pass is incomplete, underthrown to Maldonado. The pressure picked up with pitching and company. Lonnie Jones. Double coverage by the Golden Hawks on Maldonado. 3rd and 10. 15.8 seconds to play in the first quarter.
Incomplete pass brings up 3rd and 10.
And they'll probably be passing again on 3rd and 10.
Well, you know, the game, Mark, the score of the game has really changed these strategies of these coaches. Centennial not being able to run a lot here in the first half, went to the air and was successful right before halftime. Sanger not running the balls effectively in the second quarter as the first, putting the ball in the air a lot here in the second quarter, which they don't want to do.
Croucher and Waugh deep for Centennial.
Ramirez back to pass
Ramirez
once again.
Throw, fires it, picked off at the 40-yard line. Went right into the arms of number 90 for Centennial.
Intended
Kevin
for
Scott.
Maldonado, calls incomplete.
They call it incomplete. Looked like he caught it. It is an interception. He happened to have his knee down when he caught the ball. As the ball was thrown on the opposite side to the intended receiver. So 3 interceptions thrown by Ramirez tonight. That was just a poor pass. Well behind his receiver who was going inside. He threw it outside.
Well, Mark,
unfortunately for Scott, if his knee wasn't down, he would have had a chance to gain some real estate.
Right, it's a situation where Sanger in that situation was forced to throw the football to get the ball down the field. So I'm sure in the second half they want to come out and run the football like they did in the first quarter.
9 seconds to play in the first half. Draw play to Justin Morales. A little opening. Midfield 50 and down.
Morales.
About the 49-yard line, gain of 8 or 9 yards.
Stopped by Maldonado.
And Maldonado makes the tackle. And that is the final play of the first half.
That's the end of the first half.
From Golden Hawk Stadium, Centennial 10, Sanger 3. And you're watching the Yosemite Division quarterfinals exclusively on Time Warner Cable, Channel 52.
True or false? Pain is nothing compared to what it feels like to give in.
Powerade. Power to working muscles when you need it.
I am not done.
Get back into the game with Powerade. This game is brought to you by Powerade and your Coca-Cola bottler in Bakersfield. Powerade, you are not done.
Excuse me, is that tuxedo from AJ's?
Let AJ's get you noticed. A Bakersfield tradition for over 25 years, specializing in Pierre Cardin, Christian Dior, Oscar de la Renta, and Calvin Klein. AJ's Tuxedo Junction, with 3 great locations to serve you.
Gottschalk's is the place to go to dress up your home. It's the place to go. Gottschalk's, we're your store.
We begin the second half of play from Golden Hawks Stadium on the campus of Centennial High School, with Golden Hawks leading Singer 10-3 in this Yosemite Division quarterfinal. Tough first half, Dennis. A key touchdown play set up by a long pass from George Vallis to Jason Waugh, and then Morales scored on the next play.
Well, you know, Centennial going more to the passing attack more because of the injury to Adam Stupey, and he probably won't be back here in the second half. So I think you'll see Centennial put the ball up and try to make some yards in the air. So they're going to have to be effective throwing the football here in the second half, and I think you're going to see them do that. You know, I don't think they want to abandon the running game, but I think you're going to see them throw the ball probably more than they have all year.
Joe Long kicking off for Centennial
To begin the third quarter. Williams picks it up across the 20-25. He moves some tacklers. 30-yard line, of flag is down. He's still on his feet. Midfield 50. I think that's called back. Cuts back to the 40, to the 30. Are they going to bring him down? 20. He's going to take it all the way, but I think they'll have to call back. What a great run by Corey Williams, number 9. Fantastic run.
Yeah, it was a great run, Mark, but I think some of the players knew he was coming back when he was halfway there. It was a nice run, but I knew it was coming back all the way, so it kind of took a little bit of the excitement out of it. But again, probably one reason why he made the run is because there was some flipping plays on the play. A few Centennial players got pushed in the back, and that really helped spring them. So can't do that. Can't hit behind, below the legs, and you can't hit from behind. So.
Well, he ran about 90 yards for naught. And we'll see where they mark it to begin the third quarter. 10-3 Centennial. Jason Wall, number 22, pressing the service as a wide receiver tonight. Has a couple of receptions, including the long one to the Senga 1-yard line, which set up Centennial's only touchdown tonight. Jason is the starting safety for the Centennial defense. He's also a backup quarterback who had 3 touchdown passes last week. Well, from the place kicker, can do it all on the football field.
Well, Mark, let's see what Sanger can do here now in the start of the second half. Ramirez had a very effective first half leading the offense when he ran the football, but struggled a little bit in the air. And I think Sanger wants to get back to their bread and butter, what they did in the first quarter, which was run the football, control time of possession. And you know, as I mentioned in the pregame show, that's what they want to do. If they can get some points out of it, you know, so be it. But they want to keep the ball away from Centennial's offense.
See a quarterback, hands the ball off to Maldonado, running left to right, gets up to the 25, 27-yard line.
Maldonado, the ball carrier.
Had a great run out of nothing.
Stopped by Mike Gonzalez.
Gonzalez making the tackle for Centennial. Quite a run by Daniel Maldonado with 17 touchdowns this year and none tonight.
Well, Marquise Ben had a very effective game and showing a lot of quickness and good balance. Reminds me a little bit of Adam Stupey with his balance and the way one man has a hard time bringing him down.
They come the other way at the first down. To the 35-yard line, Corey Williams.
Stop made by Mike Gonzalez.
A power running back for Singer. Gonzalez making the tackle again, but it's a first down for Singer, 1st and 10 from their own 35. And Singer's effective when they run the ball. When they go through the air, watch out. Can be dangerous for them. Puts in motion.
Williams
Wins the ball carrier out to the right side. Stacked up by the Golden Hawks at the line of scrimmage. Gonzalez having a very strong second half.
Jones and Gonzalez in on the stop.
Conversing on that tackle. Been on 3 tackles already this evening here in the second half.
Well, Mark, what Sanger wants to do is they want to create an up-tempo type of offense. They want to get the ball, snap it quickly, and keep moving offensively and do it quick. That's when they're most effective when the defense is not set.
Puts the ball carrier, breaks a couple of tackles, has the first down. Across the 45 to about the 47.
Herman Cooks the ball carrier.
Mark, I don't know.
Cuts from right to left.
I don't know if Centennial is missing tackles or whether the runners are just breaking tackles. I'm not sure there, but again, when you have your defensive secondary making a lot of your tackles, the defensive line and linebackers are really not doing the job. And tonight, the down linemen for Centennial really have not been effective tonight on defense, not consistently.
Running backs very slithery. Maldonado running left.
Maldonado the ball carrier.
They draw him out, throw him down at the 46-yard line. A flag is down.
Mike Gonzalez on the stop. There are penalty flags on the play.
Gonzalez in on the tackle again. Well, he's playing a fine third quarter for the Golden Hawks. Holding against Sanger. They held, still lost yardage.
Mark, again, you know, the running plays have been effective for Sanger, but unfortunately for Sanger, they've had some costly holding penalties on their drives that have hurt them. And then what happens is they get forced to throw the football. And we know what happens when they throw the football. Bad things happen. So unfortunately for Sanger here, they were moving the football well. Now they get a holding call, which puts them in 1st and 20, which really makes it difficult. Now you're almost in a passing situation.
1st and 20 for the Apaches from their own 35-yard line. Quick snap. Inside handoff. Maldonado across the 40 to about the 43.
Daniel Maldonado, the ball carrier.
He's carrying the ball quite a bit here in the third quarter.
Mike Swan.
Nice gain of maybe 7 yards. 2nd and long, though, for Sanger. Swan with a tackle for Centennial.
Mark, a good player tonight for Sanger. He's done a very effective job. Efrain Coronado, 6'57", the left tackle, done a fine job tonight for Sanger, opening some holes for the running backs.
2nd and 15. Cooks running right. Gains about 4 or 5 yards. Close to midfield, the 49.
Cooks the ball carrier, stop made by Lonnie Jones.
Jones tackling him from behind. He gets up limping. That is number 73, Lonnie Jones. Got a piece of the runner from behind, and he'll have to exit momentarily. Andrew Stubbe was hurt in the first half for Centennial. We heard an injury to his hand. So the injury situation not looking good for the Golden Hawks. Not so much for tonight, but for the future. Because if they win tonight, they will play better teams down the road. 3rd and 9.
Ramirez back to pass.
Ramirez. The pass knocked away at the last moment.
Pass intended for
nice play by number 21.
Broken up by Ted Hand.
Ted Hand.
Mark, that was a great play by Ted Hand. I mean, he played that single coverage beautifully over on the right side, made his break perfectly to knock the ball down. You couldn't play defense. He looked like Deion Sanders on that play. He's not being paid the same, but he looked like him. Showtime, Mark. That's what it looks like to me.
But Deion Sanders doesn't like to come up and make the hits on the running
T.
back.
Ramirez in punt formation for the Apaches.
4th and 9 for the Apaches. Ramirez with a punt. Left-footed from his 40, line drive. Comes to Waugh. Tackled immediately at the 21. Vasquez making the stop, number 5 for Sanger. Fine overall player. Slot man, plays defense.
Jason Waugh stopped by
on
Jeremy
special
Vasquez.
teams. So 1st and 10 for the Golden Hawks. 8:11 to play in the third quarter.
Well, Mark, we'll see if the Golden Hawks can get their offensive running game going. It was pretty much nil in the first half, and I think they need to get back to the basics and try to move that ball between tackle to tackle and try to be physical with Sanger.
Get back to the basics. Pound the football. Be physical within the tackles. Morales at tailback. Echeverria at the full behind George Valles. Receivers to each side. Echeverria straight at the middle. Pounds his way to about the 25-yard line. Runs into a slew of Apaches.
And one thing, too, to remember, Mark, even if you run the football and you get some success, even if you don't score, you keep the ball away from Sanger. I mean, so there is something you can look at from a positive point of view, time of possession. So what Centennial wants to do is they want to have the football. When they've got it, Sanger can't score. So if they can score, fine. If not, you just control time of possession.
Sanger has 2 interceptions tonight. Centennial 3. Raw, wide to the right. Gratcher wide left. Vallis and company at 2nd and 7. Pitch back to Morales. Sanger comes up and they maul him at the 20-yard line. The flag is down the offensive line. Well, he smelled out that play. 3 Apaches making the tackle.
Again, Mark, that was a holding or procedure on Centennial there. And again, Centennial really struggling with the running game tonight. It doesn't look strong.
I thought he had trouble with the snap that time, Vallis.
A little bit, but I'll tell you, when you take Adam Stubbe out of that lineup, there really was a deflating momentum type of thing because Centennial doesn't seem to have the confidence.
Penalty is refused.
Without Stubbe in the game.
Andrew Stubbe has over 20 touchdowns this year, gained over 1,200 yards. He's been the big man for them all season long. He's also a fine defensive player. And you know he plays with so much heart and intensity. You take that out of your lineup and it means a lot. Somebody has to step it up for the Golden Hawks. They have to step it up. 3rd and 10. Vallis to throw. Fires it over the middle. Knocked away. Or is it picked off? Picked off by number 5, Vasquez. He's been doing a lot of stuff tonight for the Apaches.
Well, again, that was a slant over the middle, and it was underthrown by Velos again.
They're trying to hit Bratcher.
Right, underthrown, single coverage, and of course the defensive back made a nice play. But again, if you're going to throw that slant, you've got to lead the receiver. So either he catches the ball or nobody does. You cannot underthrow him on that because that just puts you in a position where the defensive back can make the interception mark. So again, 1st down now for Sanger. Sanger's coming up with some big plays here in the second half. That's the first one. Centennial had knocked him out in the second half, fired up, Mark. They still look a little flat.
3rd interception thrown by Vallis tonight. Martinez.
Ramirez back to pass.
They're going to throw him down. He was trying to throw deep. All the receivers were covered. He loses some major yardage by Swan. That's about a 15-yard loss. When Sanger tries to throw the football, negative things happen to them. They just take too long for the plays to develop.
Mark, it was 1st and 10, and they go back and try to throw the football. They lose with another 15 yards. Again, on 1st and 10, you have momentum. Why are you throwing the football? Now you're 2nd and long. And I still don't understand that. They've been having success running the ball.
Well, you have that right.
We need to have a long talk with that coach. Try to get his coaching philosophy.
And Centennial's inability to run the ball is forcing them to throw the ball more than they want to. 6:09 to play in the 3rd quarter. Williams in motion. T. Ramirez back to throw. Pass complete to Maldonado, midfield 50. He loses a couple tackles, stays on his feet. What balance across the 45 to the 44. Davis missed him. Another player for the Golden Hawks did not make a sure hit on him, and he slid underneath them.
Daniel Maldonado,
you know, when looking at the game, it really looks like Sanger wants the game more. They look hungry in this football game. They have more enthusiasm, more drive. And Centennial just doesn't seem to have the heart tonight that we've seen them.
Well, they have missed a lot of tackles this evening. Whether the running backs are slippery or not, guys are getting more yards than they should. 3rd and 13 for Sanger. Ramirez to throw.
Back to pass.
There's a pressure on the pass. Incomplete. At the 1st down marker. I think intended for either Bravo or Maldonado. Bravo, the sophomore.
Bravo falls incomplete.
4th down for the Apaches. They haven't had much success throwing the ball tonight, Sanger. Of course, they tried to throw it on 1st and 10 and lost 15, so that put them at a hole at 2nd and long. And they ran and had to throw on the next down. So when they throw the ball, they've had a lot of trouble. They ran the ball very effectively. Centennial has had mixed results passing. They have run the ball very effectively.
Ramirez, the punter for Sanger.
Ramirez kicks it off to the left side, gets a nice bounce, rolls out of bounds at the 16. For the Golden Hawks, 1st and 10 inside their 20-yard line.
Ball rolls out of bounds on the
5-12 to play in the 3rd quarter. 10-3 in favor of Centennial over Sanger. A very gutsy effort by the Apaches tonight, and also a gutsy effort by Centennial, losing Andrew Stubbe in the 1st half.
Well, the first half we talked about the good field position. Here in the second half, it seems like Sanger has the best of the field position here. Centennial's had 2 drives started deep in their own territory, so it's been more difficult for them.
Morales behind Vallis. Receivers to each side for the Golden Hawks. Morales, the ball carrier, gets up to about the 20-yard line. Hit in the backfield by number 8, Ronnie Martinez.
Morales stopped by Martinez.
Got a hold of his legs and he went down.
Well, we know that Centennial wants to win the football, Mark, and they're hoping that maybe Morales can spring one here, if maybe not a long game, or at least just a first down.
Jesse Morales
because they really don't want to put the ball in the air if they can help it, especially keep it in their own territory.
Ball wide to the right, Scratcher wide left. Scratcher's had, I think, only one reception tonight. Wall twice. One a big one, set up the only touchdown. Valles to Martinez. I thought he had trouble with the handoff. I think he had the first down or was close to it. At the 25-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Golden Hawks.
Martinez might be an effective player here in the second half. He's a little small but shows good quickness. And what they want to do is they've got to try to establish the dominance in the offensive line. They haven't been able to do that tonight, and you've got to do that. You've got to control the clock, and that's really their best advantage, especially with Stubbe out of there. And you know, Baylor's struggling with his throwing tonight. You want to run that football.
1st and 10 for the Golden Hawks. They're on 27. Morales up the middle. Powers his way across the 30 to about the 34. Jesse running better here in the second half, gaining some confidence. The offensive line is opening up some holes for him.
Initial contact by Ronnie Martinez.
But Jesse has run the ball quite a bit this year for the Centennial Golden Hawks. Many times during the course of the game, and in other games when they've had a 3-touchdown lead. But he has seen some playing time. So it's not as if he's green. 2nd and 3 for Centennial. Pitching moved on the right side for the Golden Hawks, number 77. They had a 2nd and 3 situation, trying to get off very quickly. All you can say is that's a mental mistake.
Boy, that hurts, Mark. 2nd and 3, now it goes 2nd and 8, and that makes a big difference there, because when you got 2nd and short, you know, you can almost be sure of picking up a first down. Now 2nd and 8 makes it much more difficult. Again, mental mistakes, just not thinking out there, some of the players, overly just not sharp for really a quarterfinal playoff game. I'm really surprised.
And everybody in the football field can see that one. 3:17 to play in the 3rd. Valles to Morales.
Morales
he has a first down across the 40, running hard. 1st and 10 for the Golden Hawks.
Well, that time Martin Morales was able to break a few tackles, got to the outside, showed some strength, some good power, and picked up a first down for Centennial. Now Centennial's doing what they really need to do, Mark, which is control the ball on the ground, use a big offensive line, and you might be seeing Centennial get just a little tired now. You know, they're a little smaller, and you know, usually big offensive lines do their work late in the 3rd quarter, early in the 4th.
Sean Fulwiler out there for Centennial, 1st and 10. Golden Hawks trying to move the football on the ground. 2:50 to play in the 3rd. Morales once again powers his way forward. Gain of maybe 2 yards. Lots on the left side. He has been a primary ball carrier for the Golden Hawks here in the second half, exclusively on this drive. We'll call it 2nd and 8 from the 44-yard line.
2 yards on the play.
Well, Mark, I think Coach Stubbe decided to get a little conservative here in the second half. Baylor's having some struggling a little bit with the pass. He's going to keep the ball on the ground if he can and not throw the ball in the air. He's going to be happy with a 10-3 lead.
But Jason Waugh has come in. He's wide left for Centennial. Scratcher wide right. Will they throw it? 2nd and 8. 5 men on the defensive front for Singer. Inside handout to Echeverry. First down across the 45 to the 42 in Singer territory.
Echeverry picks up a first down.
He fumbled after he hit the ground. So Echeverry, who hasn't carried the ball much tonight, has been effective when he has done so. 3 TDs last week for number 32. Misdirection. Had to come the other way.
By Reyna.
Reyna making a stop for Sanger. Centennial embarking on a long touchdown drive. Using up that clock. 1:45 to play in the 3rd. Morales up the middle. Again, about 1 or 2 yards.
Morales once again.
To the 41. Well, Mark, he tried to stuff it up the middle.
Excuse me. We talked about it earlier. There's really not much to say here. They're just going to keep the ball on the ground as long as they can. And like you say, with a little over a minute left in the 3rd quarter, they've sucked up a lot of this 3rd quarter on this drive, and that's really what they want. I mean, Stubbe would like to get more points, but even if he doesn't, just keep the ball with Sanger, and he'd be happy to come away with a 10-3 lead, right? And advancement in the playoffs is all you really want.
And I think he's going to continue running the ball up the middle, utilizing their power on the offensive line. 2nd and 8. Morales again. Oh, he is hit in the backfield. That number 42 came away with that.
Yes,
Kurt Putigian, he's the guy that hit Andrew Stubbe in the first half. That's his second excellent hit tonight. 42, had a running start. Maybe 7 or 8 yards.
Well, Mark, 5'11", 175-pound junior, he likes to hit.
Number 42 there in front of us. Likes to come up, make the stick. Wants to be a part of the highlight films.
You know, Mark, he looks bigger than 5'11", 172 to me.
Yeah, he does.
Doesn't he to you?
3rd and 8 for Centennial. Cheekin showing blitz. Play action, Ballas to throw over the middle. Pass complete to Echeverry at the 20. Touchdown, Golden Hawks!
Pass complete to Nick Echeverry. Good for Centennial touchdown.
Mark, on that play there, Echeverry was lined up in the slot. He went down the middle of the field, beat the middle linebacker. They had a linebacker trying to cover him as a running back out of the backfield. He beat him by 3 yards, made a nice catch, and then rambled into the end zone. Again, that was a situation, Mark, where Centennial had the right matchup. They had Echeverry, who's 180, on an inside linebacker. He's able to beat him deep. They got the matchup they wanted on a linebacker, and they were able to take it in for a score.
Well, Ballas with a touchdown pass tonight. His first of the game. Nice throw. Bad handoff. Wall running to his right. Throws it into the end zone. Incomplete. Intended for Smith on the broken play.
Point after attempt
Catch
is
snap.
negative.
Long cannot get it off. And Jason Wall tried to improvise to no avail. 16-3 Centennial.
You know, Mark, they talk about basketball. They always talk about matchups, zone matchup, or defensive man-to-man. But in football, you want matchups too. You know, they're double covering the wideouts. And what was really good about that play was that Echeverry lined up in the slot, and he went out over the middle of the field, and the only player to pick him up was the middle linebacker. Well, he's too fast for a middle linebacker. So Centennial knew, since they were doubling the wideouts, that he'd be open or he'd be covered one-on-one with the linebacker. And no linebacker's going to cover Echeverry at 180 pounds. He's too fast. So he was able to get deep on the linebacker. Bayless had time to throw, thereby the matchup, and Centennial won that matchup. That's what you do as an offensive coordinator. You look for matchups to your advantage as a football team. In that situation, they had it.
Even though Bayless has struggled somewhat throwing the ball tonight, he's come up with some big pass plays. The long one to Wall to set up their first touchdown in the first half. And he had time to throw and hit Echeverry out of the backfield that time for the touchdown. A throw to the 20-yard line as he spun away. Centennial making the big plays tonight. Not on the ground, but through the air.
Maldonado with the ball for Sanger.
Despite the fact Dallas has 3 interceptions. Maldonado across the 20. Tackled on the far side, the 27 by number 31 for the Golden Hawks. That would be Ron Shearer.
By Ron Shearer.
Mark, that was a great play by Shearer. He stayed at home on that, and when running back came in, he stayed right where he's supposed to be and made the tackle. Nice play by the special teams of Centennial.
He's playing like he's a member of the San Francisco 49ers.
My team, I love them. Go Niners.
I guess about 3.3 seconds left in the third quarter. 16-3 Golden Hawks. Like I said, Ballas has had 3 interceptions tonight, but he's been able to come up with some big pass plays. Ran about a little bit on that drive. The Centennial Golden Hawks. Ramirez to throw. Now he's rolling out to his right to the 20. Tries to cut back. Swarmed over by Golden Hawks to the 24.
Well, Mark, I
really was pressured that time.
Excuse me, I think it's a little bit of a mistake for Sanger to be abandoning their running game because passing has really not been their forte. They're trying to run the football. Passing football makes it very difficult for them to move the ball.
For the third quarter, sorry.
Centennial 16, Sanger 3 after 3 on Time Warner Cable, Channel 52.
That tuxedo from AJ's?
Let AJ's get you noticed. A Bakersfield tradition for over 25 years. Specializing in Pierre Cardin, Christian Dior, Oscar de la Renta, and Calvin Klein. AJ's Tuxedo Junction with 3 great locations to serve you.
Get in on on all the football action with refreshing Coca-Cola Classic. This game is brought to you by your Coca-Cola bottler in Bakersfield. Always for the fans, always Coca-Cola.
Gotcha is the place to go to dress up your home. It's the place to go. Gotcha's, we're your store.
Fourth quarter of action, Sanger with the ball. Williams up to about the 24, and the Centennial defense beginning to stuff him a little bit more. Well, Sanger has not been able to throw the ball effectively tonight. They ran the ball somewhat successfully, but only have 3 points on the board.
Well, Mark, looking at this game, the key to this game was Velas's pass right before halftime. Centennial wanted to score to make it 10-3, but in the second half, the thing that really hurt Sanger was that holding penalty when they had a first down, took him back deep in their own territory, and that really hurt their drive in the second half.
Ramirez pass incomplete over the middle.
Pass intended for Bravo.
Couple of defenders, Waugh and Coons for Centennial.
Coons and Waugh supplying the defense
and
for
fourth
Centennial.
down for the Sanger Apaches.
Remember, we were talking a little earlier about Sanger was moving the ball starting the second half. They had that holding penalty on first down. Took him back. Then he started throwing the football. They never made any yards. They punted the ball. And since then, it's been all Centennial. So that's been the difference in the game. Second half, mistakes by Sanger offensively. Holding penalties have really put him in a bind, mark, forced him to throw the ball.
Bad snap. The quarterback barely gets it off. Goes out of bounds. So Centennial will have excellent field position here at the start of the fourth quarter, leading 16-3 over Sanger. The Golden Hawks smelling victory is number 61 for Centennial, coming into the game limping somewhat, Josh Williams.
Well, Mark, you got to say one thing about
they
show a lot of heart. It seems like now, the last touchdown, there seems to be a little bit of a letdown in their defense. Can you see that? Notice that? A little momentum change now, where 16-3 is different than 10-3. And I think now you're seeing just a little bit of sagging on their defense now. Their team as a whole feeling a little bit down now about the game. I think now is a good chance for Centennial to put the game away after those scores.
Navy putting the ball in the air, single running back, Jesse Morales, and he has the ball. Across the 40 to about the 37.
The ball carried for Centennial.
Centennial will probably run it straight up the middle, behind that big offensive line, and
initial contact by Ruben
try to chew up yardage and clock time. 11:03 to play in a ball game. Centennial eyes and seeks the semifinals of the Yosemite Division. That's where they were last year when they lost to Redwood.
Mark, you can't say enough about Gil Garcia. Plays both ways for Sanger. 6'2", 215. Great job tonight.
Gil Garza. 2nd and 7. Play action. Dallas throwing deep for Bratcher. He's open. Oh! It might have been tipped by Vasquez. Bratcher had him beat.
For Bratcher.
It was just tipped away from him. Pass was perfect.
Yeah, it was a great throw, Mark. But again, Vasquez tipped the ball just slightly, and Bratcher lost a little bit of concentration here and wasn't able to make the catch. But again, good play by Centennial in a position now where they can throw the football there, try for a big score. They have good field position. Interception wouldn't hurt them. It would just be like a punt. But again, they've had some difficult times running against this tough Sanger defense. And I think Sanger's tough schedule, Mark, has really made them a pretty potent team here in the playoffs. You know, playing a lot of good football teams this year.
Yeah, they had to play Clovis, West, and Buchanan. And Hoover. They defeated Hoover. They lost to the three Clovis schools.
Timeout Centennial.
Timeout Golden Hawks, 10:36 to play in a ball game. It's Centennial 16 and Sanger 3. Only a field goal for the Apaches tonight. They have run the ball somewhat successfully between the 20s, but when it's come time to throw, they have struggled.
Well, you know, Mark, a team that averages about 378 yards on the ground this year has been able to run the ball against a lot of defenses. I mean, they ran the ball against Clovis, West, and Buchanan because that's their average per game. So they've been successful moving the ball, and they've scored points this year. But I don't think they've played a defense as good as Centennial's all year because nobody's held them down like this all year, even those teams that they played. They were able to move the ball somewhat effectively. Tonight, though, they don't have anywhere close to 378 yards rushing.
Now the Golden Hawks try to move into the semifinals like they did last year when they lost at home to Redwood.
But you know, Mark, when you get deeper into the playoffs, teams get better. You know, Centennial started last week with Wenatchee. Now they're playing a little better team in Sanger. Next week it gets even better. So, you know, you expect it. You expect to improve and get better, and you're going to play better teams.
3rd and 7 for the Golden Hawks at the Sanger 37-yard line. Split backs behind Ballas. Sanger 6-man front. Ballas to throw, pretty good protection. Lofts it out for Smith. Is it picked off? I guess they're calling it incomplete at the 20-yard line. Number 34, Herman Cooks, almost had the 4th INT for Sanger tonight.
Well, again, Mark, they don't see not showing the best decision there. Coverage really on that play was well by the defensive back, and he threw that ball really up for grabs. But again, a nice play by Sanger. But Velos tonight has had a propensity, Mark, to throw the ball into coverage tonight, a little bit more enforcing the ball. But I think that's probably one reason more is because they don't have Scooby. They're trying to make plays that they normally don't try.
Timeout Centennial.
Yes, forcing the issue somewhat. Centennial calls a timeout, 10:29 to play, and they lead at 16-3. The Golden Hawks not really running the ball that effectively tonight. Their defense has put them in good shape, some nice field position. The passing game has been up and down. Valance has been able to come up with some big passing plays, but overall, he has not had a good game throwing the ball. He's had 3 picks and had about 2 or 3 other throws that were in heavy coverage, so he's been somewhat fortunate. But fortunate for Centennial, they've been able to stop the passing game of Sanger this evening. Sanger's been one-dimensional, and like we talked about, the Golden Hawks have showed more diversity on offense than the Apaches, and that's good.
Well, I just think that Centennial tonight, Mark, has really forced it a little bit, maybe too much, being a little impatient with their running game. Kind of abandoned it when Stubbe went out, and it seems like they forced their pass a little more than they really needed to. I think it should maybe stay with the running game a little bit longer, not so much force the passing game when it's not there. So that's one thing they might want to look at next week if Stubbe can't play, is that they need to develop that balance with their running game, and they have to go back to the running game next week, even if Stubbe isn't there. They can't afford to throw the ball and force the issue as much as they've done tonight.
Yeah, you have to take advantage of that big offensive line and run the football. Stay consistent with it.
Jamie Smith, the punter for Centennial.
Smith punts it away from the return team of Sanger. Takes an unusual roll. Vasquez gets away from it. And Centennial downs it at the 8-yard line.
Ball rolls
Ratchet
inside
does the job. 10-17 to play. Sanger with a long ways to go, and they're down 16-3.
Smart play there, I think, on Centennial's part, Mark. You're ahead 16-3. You want to get Sanger deep back in their own territory, and they're on their own 8-yard line. That's what you want. So smart play, no reason to go for it there with the 16-3 lead. Put your defense in a good position here to make a play. And I believe in putting your defense in positions to make plays, don't you?
Durmeyer, Jones, Davis, Thatcher, Waugh, Coons and company. Took the ball carrier to about the 15-yard line.
Puts the ball carrier, Justin Davis in.
Mark, the problem with that kind of play is it makes some yards and looks pretty, but with only 10 minutes left in the football game, that's not going to get it done. They're going to have to put the ball in the air now. They're going to have to gamble. Now's the time to throw the football, even if they haven't been successful. They got nothing to lose now.
2nd and 4 for Sanger. They're taking a lot of time to call the plays, and the clock is running at 9:45. Definitely going to have to hurry it up offensively. Wide to the left, Eric Contente. Ramirez, 2nd man through. Corey Williams powers his way to about the 20-yard line. Jones,
Williams, the ball carrier, shot by Kevin Scott.
Give credit to Kevin Scott. 1st and 10 for the
Williams
Apaches.
picks up another Apache first down.
But the clock continues to run.
You know, Mark, Corey Williams is a really solid football player.
6
foot
180,
plays linebacker and running back. He is just a tough, hard-nosed kid, isn't he?
Ramirez
rolling to his left. Heavy pressure, throws it, up for grabs. I believe it's caught. Cooks with the reception. In Centennial territory to 47. As he out-jumped Jason Waugh. Looked like more of a hit or miss reception, but it counts. 1st and 10 for Sanger.
Yeah, Mark, Jason Wall was out of position there a little bit defensively. He was playing behind the man, but he let the man get inside position on the play, and he was able to make the catch. So not really an excellent play by Wall. He was there, but he was out of position on the play, so Sanger came up with a big play.
Lonnie Jones, number 73, says, bring him on.
Ramirez back to pass
Ramirez
once
to throw again over the middle. The pass incomplete. Intended for Cooks. Davis on the coverage. Bratcher over there. It'll be 2nd and 10 for Sanger.
Ramirez's pass broken up by Justin Davis.
To play the ball game. I get into these games, can't you tell?
I do. You love football.
The football season is winding down. As you know, I'll be doing another sport. 8:55 to play. Sanger, had a hurry-up offense in the first half. They slowed it down somewhat recently. Wide to the right is Eric Montente. There's Maldonado,
the ball carrier.
Brought down a backfield by Kitching, number 77. Sanger
whether they want to run or throw here, but right now they're in a position where every play they really have to throw the football.
Maldonado in motion, pitch back to Cooks. He'll be cut from behind it, thrown down by Gonzalez.
Cooks brought down by Gonzalez.
Well, it took a lot of time to make that call. And they lose about 5 yards.
Well, Mark Gonzalez has done a fine job for
Got a big second half for Centennial.
He's done a fine job as a rover back, linebacker, defensive back. He plays
fast.
a lot of positions. Oh, yeah, he's done a great job.
7:37 to play in the ball game. 4th down, 4th and 13. And Sanger's punting. Ramirez
the punter for Sanger.
tries to punt it away from Waugh. Jason gets away from it, does a little dance routine. And they're down inside the 20 at the 18. I'm somewhat baffled. In the first half, Sanger was going for it. On 2 occasions, 4th down inside their own territory. They're down 16-3. 7 minutes to play in the ball game. Short, 4th and 13. Why are they punting it?
Well, Mark, that's a tough question to answer. And the bottom line is, I don't have an answer for you. What do you think of that?
He should be going for it now when he should have been punting it in the first half.
Well, I'm not the coach there, so I don't have an answer for you, Mark. You're asking the wrong guy. I agree with you, though. They should be going for it there in 4th down. They got nothing to lose.
Roberts wide to the left for the Golden Hawks. Morales pounds his way across the 20 to about the 22. He thought he could get up after his knee touchdown. 7 minutes to play in the ball game. Now, to be honest with you, Sanger's taking so much time to call their plays. By the time they get the ball back, if they do, they won't have time to score 13.
Well, Mark, they're a team that runs the ball on the ground. They're a rushing team. Well, right now, when they're behind like this, it's difficult for them to go into a hurry-up offense where they're going to throw the football out. So they're a little confused by that.
One running back behind Vallis. That is Morales. He has the ball, spreads the middle.
Morales the ball
stays on his feet. Has the first down and more to about the 45. 1st and 10 for the Golden Hawks.
Mark Morales has really picked it up here in the second half. I think he might have heard me at halftime. I was saying he needs to run a little bit harder. And here in the second half, he's picked it up, running hard up the middle. Centennial in the second half, Mark, we talked about it earlier, is that they're taking the ball straight at him now. Instead of trying to go wide, where Sanger's speed is being able to be effective. Straight up the middle, you can kind of overpower a team. And they're really doing that. They're playing more smash mouth football here in the second half. You like that word, smash mouth? Yeah. I picked that up from you a long time ago.
I think you were talking about the fact that he didn't have the speed of Andrew Stubbe, kind of waits too long for his cuts. He's more effective running up the middle against a big offensive line. And he's gained more confidence as this game has progressed. Remember, he was kind of just pressing the service late there in the second quarter. And Sanger was playing a little bit better defensively then. And the Sanger defense somewhat deflated now, being down 16-3. And Centennial has been pounding on them in the second half and wearing them down. 6:20 to play. The Golden Hawks 1st and 10 from their own 35. Vallis to Morales. Cuts back. The Apaches swarm on him. He still drives forward.
Jesse Morales,
Keeping
the
those
ball
legs
carrier once
turning.
again.
You know, when you talk about wearing a team down in Smash Mouth football, I remember where I
Stop by
first heard that
Tabasco
term.
Lopez.
When you were at Garcias, the Valley Championship back in the 70s, 72. That's when I first heard about Smash Mouth football, the Garcias Rams. Remember those times?
I remember those times, yes.
Now that was Smash Mouth football at its best.
I always like when the fog comes from the breath of the players on the field. You know it's football time.
You got it.
5:40 to play in the ball game. Centennial 16, Sanger 3. Bratcher wide to the left. Ballas looking back at Morales. Waugh wide right. 2nd and 6 for the Golden Hawks. Inside play to Echeverry has been effective. 45. Stays on his feet. Stays in bounds. Fumbles out to the whistle.
Echeverry
1st and 10 for the Golden Hawks at the 41-yard line in Sanger territory. Echeverry's made some big plays tonight for Centennial.
Yeah, Mark, that counter trap play there, inside counter trap they call it, been very effective. It's kind of a misdirection play. They've done it twice, but Echeverry's been very successful. And it works really good against a defense who over pursues. They go one way and then you bring back the counter the other way, and it's really been effective tonight. But I'll tell you one thing about Echeverry. When you get tackled, don't lay the ball down. Tonight, so far tonight, he's put the ball down after he's being tackled. Hold that ball until the official grabs it. It's almost been 2 fumbles tonight. He's got to watch that.
He's had a nice yards per carry average tonight. Of course, had a pass reception. 4 touchdowns in 2 weeks. Morales runs to his line, stays on his feet now. Ready hard inside the 30 to the 29.
A nice second
1st and 10 for the Golden Hawks.
Mark, didn't we say earlier about a team getting
Morales
tired?
is finally stopped by
In the
Vasquez.
second half, they take the ball right at them, and they tired them out a lot. And we talked about that a team that's smaller is quick. But when you take the ball right at them, you neutralize that quickness. Plus, when they get tired, they're not as quick. So then you just overpower. And right now, Centennial looks quicker than the Sanger.
You sound like a professor of coaching.
Well, I've always had a hanging for that, Mark. But, you know, things didn't work out.
4:35 to play in the ball game. Centennial pounding Sanger now here in the 4th quarter. Morales again hitting the backfield and drop.
Morales,
Nice
the ball
play
carrier.
by number 95 for the Apaches.
Stopped by Ruben Reyna.
And Mark, what was the problem with that? Again, tried to go wide. Sanger was able to run him down. The best play is between the tackles, up the middle. If they listen to me, they'll do it right, and they'll make yards.
You got it. 2nd and 11 for the Golden Hawks. 4:05 to play in a ball game. Centennial would just prefer to keep it on the ground, turn up that yardage, and chew up that clock. Roberts wide left, Bratcher wide right. Echeverry, Morales in the backfield behind Ballas. Echeverry, right side. Can power his way inside the 30 to about the 26. They've really been moving back that Sanger defensive front, especially in the 4th quarter. Timeout Apaches.
Well, this smart play there by Sanger because, you know, whatever Centennial does here, they want to have a little bit of time on the clock, so they're going to use some of their timeouts here. But, you know, really, Mark, they're in 2-down territory here, Centennial. 2nd, I'd say 3rd and, you know, 3rd and long. And what do you do here? I would keep them on the ground, but, you know, there's also a possibility they can throw the football here because they don't really have to worry about the clock that much.
But as you know, 2
if you're Centennial, you'd like to score again, so we'll see what they do.
Scores. Bakersfield 28, Hoover.
The ravages of time. Just like paint, tape can oxidize, and oxygen is slowly eating away your most cherished family videos. A baby's first steps, first words, first birthday. These memories, once lost, can never be recovered. You can't stop time, but you can find oxidation by duplicating your videos at Time Warner Productions. Our state-of-the-art repair and duplication services can help preserve your memories for future generations. Time Warner Productions, located at 3600 North Select Avenue in the Time Warner Cable Building.
Harold, this tape from Greece doesn't play.
Around the world, there are many different formats for VHS tapes. So if you have problems with a tape from a foreign country, call Time Warner Productions. For $29.95, Time Warner Productions can convert the tape to a format that plays in your home VCR or change your tape to any format from around the world. From quality copies of home videos, large quantity duplications,
Harold, the tape's broken,
or tape repair, Time Warner Productions is your best choice for video services.
In this game here, we've got to say one thing about Centennial tonight. 2nd half, I thought they came out and really played a good football game, don't you? I mean, they've really become more physical, and they did what we thought they were going to do, is they took the ball and ran the ball between tackles, and they've been more successful, especially without Stubbe. But the question is, how will Adam Stubbe make out next week if Centennial wins this game? What will happen?
8 for the Golden Hawks. 3:45 to play in the ball game. Fouls, calling signals. Miles behind him. There's that trap play. Etcheverry hit it back, breaks the tackle to the 25. He has the first down, I believe.
Etcheverry, the ball carrier.
Etcheverry running hard.
Stop made by Rodney
Breaking
Martinez.
tackles. Martinez with a tackle for Sanger. And it is a first down for the Golden Hawks.
And again, Mark, that counter trap play again has been very effective with Etcheverry. And you know, one thing I would say to you, where's Etcheverry been in the first half? Why don't they use him more? Without Stubbe in there, Etcheverry really is their best ball carrier. Why isn't he carrying the ball more?
Well, he's carried the ball more here in the second half, especially during this drive. 3:23 and counting. Centennial 16-3, looking for more. Just trying to use up that clock. Morales up the middle. Backs his way to about the 16. Centennial playing their type of football now.
By Mike Martinez.
The Golden Hawks with the lead. Running the football behind that huge offensive line, and they've been doing that primarily here in the fourth quarter. In fact, most of the second half, once they got that second touchdown of the game, once it was 16-3, it allowed them to play their style of football.
Well, Mark, second half's been a huge advantage for Centennial in time of possession.
It usually is.
Yes, and tonight especially, Sanger just hasn't had the ball much here in the second half, and it's been really all Centennial. They haven't always scored, but they've controlled the clock, and Sanger just hasn't had the ball much, especially here in the fourth quarter.
We saw the Stockdale game, 14-14 at the half, and Centennial blew them away in the second half as our defense stopped the Stockdale running game and made things very difficult for Mike Anderson, the quarterback.
Well, Mark, you know, you talk about Stockdale. They were a much improved team. I mean, last week they got beat by Buchanan, number 1 seed, 28-14, so they were competitive, and I think good things are going to happen for Stockdale down the road. They got the new stadium going next year, and I think they're going to be a force in that Southwest Yosemite League in the future. I think Mark Hansen's built a pretty good program there. I think it's going to get better.
Well, you look at the Sanger team, they have a lot of juniors on the ball club, and even some sophomores. So they need to establish more of a passing game to be more effective down the road deep in the playoffs. 3 minutes to play. It's 2nd and 8 for Centennial. Morales fumbled the ball, and I think the Apaches have it. He was trying to knife through an opening.
Play recovered by number 34.
And fumbled it, so the first mistake for the Golden Hawks in the second half. Cooks with the recovery for Sanger at their own 19. But they have a long ways to go and not much time.
Well, again, Centennial doing a good job there, mishap there in the turnover, but you know, they played a good second half overall, so they have to be pleased with that. Now it's a situation for Sanger. You're going to see a team put the ball up in the air, I think, every play now, Mark.
Ramirez back to pass.
Ramirez to throw from his 10-yard line. Fakes, now he's gone, is thrown out of bounds.
Ramirez is just out of bounds by Justin
going the honors, number 44.
Smart play by Ramirez, though. You get out of bounds to stop the clock. If nobody's open, you don't have to use one of your last timeouts. I think they used 2. They have 1 more left. But it looked like Mark Centennial had a chance to score there. But, you know, Stubbe being a little conservative here, you know, taking the ball straight up the middle. And I think that was a good game plan by Centennial here in the second half. Now we'll see what Sanger can do with their passing attack, which has not been very successful here in the game.
Yes, they're not a passing
Ramirez
team.
back to pass.
Pass to Maldonado, out of
pass
bounds.
Complete to Daniel Maldonado.
At the 22-yard line, very short gain, stops the clock. But they have so much real estate to grab for.
Davis and Scott
very short
the
time here in the fourth
Centennial
quarter.
on the play.
Davis and Scott get on the tackle for the Golden Hawks. 2:44 left. And Sanger is down by 13.
Well, Mark, I think the question for Centennial was, what's the health of Adam Stubbe for next week? I think that's a big question everybody wants to know right now.
Ramirez to throw, it's complete. Nice catch by Vasquez, breaks loose, 40-45, across midfield, changed it, that's Bravo, a sophomore.
Pass complete to
nice
Bravo.
Reception and run. Gets across midfield to the Centennial 48-yard line.
Gonzalez.
Caleb Bravo.
Bravo picks up another Apache first down.
Gonzalez makes a tackle for Centennial.
Mark, a nice pass, nice completion, nice run by the receiver. Sanger in business, 49-yard line of Centennial.
First and 10
Ramirez
for the
back
Apaches.
to pass once again.
Ramirez with plenty of time. Now splitting out to his right. Fires it complete to Williams at the Centennial 30-yard line. The fullback out of the backfield
Williams.
just kind of drifted out there. And Ramirez lofted it over a couple of Centennial defenders.
Mark, Centennial on defense does not have any speed rushing the quarterback. You know, what they need to do is put more pressure on the quarterback, but they've got big linemen chasing them. They need to bring in a linebacker or someone with a little more speed to put pressure on the quarterback.
1st and 10 for the Apaches out of Centennial 30. Ramirez rolling to his left. The pass incomplete, intended for Bravo on the far side.
Pass intended for Bravo is incomplete.
Centennial coming from both sides, 2:05 to play. 16-3 Golden Hawks. I love the excitement here.
Yeah, this is a playoff game, and it's a playoff atmosphere, and this reminds me a little bit of the game we did earlier with VHS and Centennial. The game was, that game there was a close game all the way through, and this game here has been a pretty close game all the way through, although Centennial's put a little bit of difference between themselves and Sanger here in the second half, a little bit of this point spread.
Ramirez on his own 40-yard line, looking for Cooks. I think he has a reception. First down for Sanger, outside the 10-yard line.
Pass complete to Cooks.
Lofted it out there, and Cooks just kind of weaved under the pass, made a diving catch. And Sanger knocking on the doors in the red zone. 1:57 to play. And Ramirez just slams it down to stop the clock. I have to stay up here for a while.
Well, Mark,
1:53 to play in a ball game.
The situation is Centennial not getting enough pressure on the quarterback, and he's able to see his receivers here in the fourth quarter. You've got to put pressure on the quarterback. That prevent defense does not work. We've seen it in every level of football. Without pressure on the quarterback, it really makes it easy for him to get time to hit his receivers. And they made some good plays here in the on this drive for Sanger. But again, Centennial not playing one of their better games, in my opinion, this year, though. They are playing well enough to win, but not a sparkling performance.
Ramirez on to his right on a heavy rush, fires it complete to Williams, but he's tackled at the 15. Ramirez in that play just sprint out a little bit too far back.
Well, that was a poor play by the quarterback because he threw that ball to a receiver and he lost yards.
That's right.
You better throw that ball out of bounds. That doesn't do any good at all.
Tends to sprint out. When he sprints out, he goes about 10 or 12 yards behind the line of scrimmage. In this situation, you got to do it north and south. 1:42 to play in a ball game, 16-3 Centennial. And Sanger has a 3rd and 12 situation. Waste off the Centennial defensive front to do quite a bit of running here in the fourth quarter.
Well, I think
chase the quarterback.
Yeah, Mark, one thing you could do if you're a Centennial is adjust to that, is bring in some smaller defensive linemen to rush the quarterback. I mean, you can bring in a couple extra nickel defensive backs, or bring in a couple extra linebackers, and what you do is you put him out on the flat on the defensive end and really rush him because he's sprinting out to his left and right on every play. So instead of using big men, if he's going to be rolling out, bring some smaller men in to put more pressure on the quarterback, because what they need right now is pressure on the quarterback. They don't need size. They're not going to be running the football. They're going to be throwing it.
3rd and 12 for the Golden Hawks. Ramirez, the quarterback for Sanger. 3 receivers to the left side. Looking left. And he has hit a drop to the 22. I don't know if it was Gonzalez. Mike Gonzalez, number 6, making another big play for Centennial. He has had a great second half. Covering receivers, sacking the quarterback, has been all over the field. Much like Jason Robb was offensively in the first half. 1:15, and this will be it. 4th down for Sanger. 4th and 19. Centennial 21. Ramirez back in the 30. Here comes the pressure. Runs it out, fires into the end zone. It's caught. They haven't called it yet. Is it a touchdown? It is a touchdown.
Touchdown,
a delay call by
Sanger.
the officials. Wanted to make sure he had one of his foot in bounds, but a flag is down at the 10-yard line.
There's a flag on the play.
Well, Mark, that was a situation where Centennial really did not play that very well at all. I mean, he was rolling out, and you had 2 men in the end zone. Neither one of them even really covered the defenseman. You never let an offensive receiver get behind you in the end zone. That's just a poor mental mistake by Centennial. It cost them a touchdown. Now they get an extra point here, an onside kick, and this game isn't over with. So again, a mental mistake by Centennial defensively.
The ball's caught the right corner of the end zone. Now 16-9. Sanger can close within 6 with this PAT. A fantastic finish. Kick is up. It's no good. I can't believe it. 7-point game, 16-9, with 57.6 seconds left. You know that Sanger will try an onside kick. It's just a matter of who recovers it.
Yeah, that doesn't really matter a lot, the extra point. It's 7 points either way. They can either tie it or go for 2 and win it.
An update
again, Mark,
the BHS game,
kind
BHS
of a difficult
34,
situation there for Centennial, because 4th and long, and they really let the off receiver get behind him in the end zone, which really was a poor play by Centennial. As well as they've been playing defensively tonight, they really made a major mistake there. And those are mistakes that they really can't afford to make. Not the kind of performance Centennial can really take a lot of credit in going to next week against a tough team of whoever they're going to play. I mean, you're going to play a lot better than this. This performance tonight is just not going to get it done.
Ramirez turned out to be a passer on this particular series for Sanger.
Well, that's because
some time to throw and threw the ball well.
And that's because Centennial was in more of a prevent defense and no pressure on the quarterback. I mean, you know, you have to adjust in a game. When a quarterback's rolling out and has good speed and good lateral movement, you've got to bring smaller guys in to put pressure. On that last play there, again, he had all kinds of time to throw.
And the receiver beat 2 defenders on the play. We're either playing a deep zone. Just under a minute to play in the ball game. Centennial 16 and Sanger 9 in the Yosemite Division quarterfinals. Centennial enduring a very tough test from Sanger tonight. It was 10-3 at the half in favor of Centennial. Here's the onside kick. And there's a flag down. Some of the Sanger players might have been over the line. Illegal procedure. That'll cost them 5 yards.
Legal procedure penalty against the Apaches.
The Apaches and the Golden Hawks from Golden Hawk Stadium.
Well, Mark, if Centennial recovers this onside kick, they'll just take a knee or 2, and that'll be the end of the game. And they'll come out with a hard-earned victory. Or they played hard tonight, but they haven't played from a standpoint of a lot of mistakes by both teams. And this time of year, really, you'd think that these teams could eliminate some of these mistakes. A lot of holding, a lot of turnovers, some mental mistakes on both teams. So Centennial played hard, but maybe not real well. Not one of their better games from the standpoint of efficiency.
I think both quarterbacks had 3 interceptions. Centennial fumbled the ball one time, so it has been a number of turnovers tonight. Who has it? The ball was kicked amidst a bunch of Golden Hawks. The first guy missed it, but somebody else came up with it. 1st and 10 for Centennial at the Sanger 47-yard line.
Kick recovered by Dustin Wilkins.
That should do it unless there is some kind of unusual play. Centennial leads at 16-9 over Sanger with 55 seconds to play in a ball game.
And well, Mark, Centennial will probably advance here to the 3rd round of the semifinals, and they'll play the winner of Clovis and Redwood, and we'll see what happens. That game will either be here in Bakersfield if Clovis wins, or it'll be in Visalia if Redwood. So we'll see what happens in that game. But Centennial advances to the 3rd round like they did last year. They made it to the semifinals. So I guess it remains to be seen how far they can go. I think they're going to have to play a lot better than they did tonight if they want to advance. This kind of performance tonight really, frankly, will not get it done when they get deeper into the playoffs. They're going to have much more efficiency, especially with their offense. But with less than 30 seconds left in this football game, probably one more snap, possibly, and that should do it. We could have 2 teams advancing next week, Mark. We know we have Centennial, and if we have Bakersfield, that would be 2 teams advancing to the 3rd round of the playoffs. So we'll see what happens. Final score in this game, Mark. Well, Centennial let the clock run all the way down and took a 5-yard delay of game with 11 seconds left.
Delay of game penalty marked off against Centennial.
So this is the last play of the game, just a quarterback keeper snap, and that's pretty much it. And this will be the last play of the game. Final score, Centennial 16, Sanger 9. Centennial advances to the 3rd round, the semifinals of the Yosemite Valley Championships.
That's the final play with the final score.
Second half, Centennial really came on, played good, tough defense, and the offensive line did a good job of playing smash mouth football. Dominated the second half time of possession.
Between the winner of the Clovis
Time Warner
Redwood
Cable,
game.
Channel 52 will be back after a word from our sponsors.
Has this ever happened to one of your favorite tapes? How about this? Parts of this tape are damaged forever. Before this happens to your favorite video or home movie, call Time Warner Productions. Time Warner Productions specializes in quality duplications, foreign conversions, and repairs. So before your favorite video cassette becomes your pet's next meal, preserve it by calling Time Warner Productions and get it duplicated. Call 322-1941.
Centennial moves to the semifinals of the Yosemite Division with a very hard-fought 16-9 victory over Sanger, Coach.
Sanger was a very tough team, and I'll tell you what, that's what the playoffs are about. But it was a struggle, and our defense just played outstanding. Justin Davis and Mike Gonzalez, this guy here just gets all over people. And defense wins championships and defense carries. Offensively we struggled tonight. But we made some adjustments, and we had some guys come in after we had some kids get hurt. And the second half, we did good, fairly well offensively. But the defense carried us the whole night. And I'm so proud of these guys, and Billy Richardson and Turman and Randy Roberts defensively, and Archie Manning.
Andrew suffered a hand injury in the first half, and the team really stuck it up, in the second half.
Yeah, I tell you what, I think he probably broke his hand, and we're going to get it x-rayed. But, that's what a team's about. We said from day one, we need 40 players because you never know what's going to happen. Ted Hand came in and did a great job, and Jesse Morales came in and ran very hard. So I'm real pleased. Sanger had a great football team. They gave us everything we wanted.
They played with a lot of heart, didn't they?
A lot of heart. They brought all Sanger. You could have ripped off Sanger tonight.
Great community support. Talking about some of the defensive players, Mike Rodriguez Gonzalez had an excellent second half. You were all over the field in the second half.
Hey, the coaches told us that quarterback, he was no joke. He's quick. He showed us that he was quick. He put the moves on, and I just did the best to get all over him.
And Justin Davis, number 44, has had an outstanding season all year long for Centennial. I think you're a Division I player.
Oh, man, I don't know about that, but they played tough. Sanger was the best team that we've seen since Bakersfield High, and they came out and played super-duper tough, and, man, it's just great to come out here with a win.
Isn't this football weather? You got the fog coming out of the mouth, and it's a little damp and a little cold.
The greatest ever. The field even, slippery. The whole shikskabop, it's there.
Now you guys are in the semifinals for the second consecutive year, and I believe you'll be playing it at home.
Yeah, that's a great edge for us because we thought we were going to travel to Redwood next week, but Clovis beat them, so we're at home next week for, I'm sure, another tough game.
Things got a little scary here at the end.
Hey, they came out, they wanted to pass, they knew they had to. The running game wasn't obviously working, and that quarterback did the best he can to get in the end zone, and he did.
Mike and Justin, thanks a lot. Take care. Final score tonight, Centennial 16, Sanger 9. I'm Mark Heffernan on Time Warner Cable, Channel 52. Good night.